All right, let's get the stream
I think the
going.
worst thing
We
is,
got the
like,
audio on now.
literally, it would have killed the game if they didn't do
Well, I think the worst part of it is it divided the community entirely.
just getting stale and like, yeah.
It would
Well,
have
and you know,
been
like,
cool
I
at
never
least,
quit
like
throughout
to
that, but
play
I knew
modes
a
or
lot of people who
game
didn't,
modes.
and none of them had any good reason. Like, literally, EOC on release was kind of even then, like, none of them had good reason. They're just like, I don't like it. But then I asked them like a year later, like, hey, have you ever tried it? Like, have you given it a good chance? They're like, no, I just didn't like it the second I logged in, so I just never logged back in. It's like,
Are we
yeah,
up?
but
Are you ready?
5 minutes.
Yeah, we're up.
Oh shit! Now everyone's gonna know my hot takes on EOC, and I'm gonna
Yeah,
get
everyone's gonna
lambasted by
know
the old
your
school
highly
players.
controversial opinions.
Yeah, any RS3 player who goes into an old school, conversation is fucked. Yeah.
Feel that. I am that RS3 player.
I play both, but I think I'm an RS3 guy at heart. I just like it has a more kind of the style of an MMO that I enjoy. It's not just a click to win, which is chill when I'm like hammered. They both have their place in the game.
I have Dragon Slayer 2 done on my old school account, but I just don't enjoy it. I just find it super boring. Like,
I think RS3 has better content, and old school has better content creators. Like I always watch them on YouTube. All the
they have better
Yeah.
community. Yeah.
Like I love
sure.
all
True.
the, I love Settled, I love Framed, I like all the
Oh my
PvP
God, yeah.
Torvesta does. You know, like I love all those guys.
Mhm.
I'm not.
I like seeing like the friendly rivalry. I love all the Sea Engineer stuff he does. I don't know if you ever watched any of that. He's got great series all the time. But like RS3 never has
Like,
any
all
of
the
that.
old school videos, never fucking play it.
Yeah,
I've watched
literally that's how I am. I'm an RS3 guy, but I just love the content.
Yeah, I probably spend on a weekly basis more time watching the videos than playing.
No, 100%. At this point, 100%. I
I'm
probably
on
spend a
RS3
couple
is like
Unless
RS3
couple
Leagues is
hours a
going.
week watching all the uploads on all the guys that I'm subscribed to for old school stuff. I still find it entertaining. It's a game I love.
not enough, there's just not enough base. Like, any new RuneScape 3 creator isn't gonna get too far because
Well, it's
there's
all
only
guides or like PvP. Like RS3 is super focused on maxing, so you
Right,
can start
like
doing other
Protoss.
stuff usually.
yeah, Protox is one of those people who like puts out guides all
Yeah.
the time, but like isn't, I guess, well known. Like, is known, but
Yeah,
not like
I've watched a
not
couple of things. He had a couple hot takes on Reddit, and I stopped listening to him.
pretty much whenever the rares controversy was coming up. Is that the hot takes or?
Nah, it was something he got into it with a user, and it was like, man, y'all kind of nasty.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Anytime
let's get
someone
into it.
line.
All right. Let's roll the die of fate. Roll D5.
I mean, why a D5? Let's see if Fredboat wants to do a recap.
There's 5 of us.
Yeah, maybe the bot wants to do one.
I just sneezed, but I muted in time. I think.
Power play.
Big brain. Okay, rolled 5, which is
Me, right?
Zach.
Yeah.
Recap, please.
Last week on Dragon Ball Z.
Just a second, sorry. Sorry, I had my girlfriend needed to talk to me for a second.
Nice.
So last time we started out with basically everybody was unconscious except for Daisho. So I dragged everybody else into another room, barricaded the door until so we could recoup for a couple of hours. We had a kind of a discussion of like whether or not it was worth going on or if we should just abandon ship. Zephylos kind of made the point that's like, well, I'm part of the tribe now, so, and I'm gonna keep going. And Khan and I were like, all right, fine. We explored basically the rest of the house. Up in the attic, we found an old man, Dr. Odenstein, who we discovered had turned Earnest, into a chicken. And the machine he was using to do so had broken. So we helped him fix it. Well, obtain the parts so he could fix it. And I tried to help, but I didn't really get to do much.
I mean, what a lazy scientist, right? Took strangers coming out of nowhere to clear out vampires from the basement to have him do anything useful. A man's life. Come on, he was turning into a chicken.
We refused to do the quest for him. We made him do his own damn quest.
As
Oh,
he
that
should
was
have
great.
done before we got there.
Literally forced him at sword point
Lance point, yeah, he's
to
about to be a
do the
kebab.
quest for you.
Turned Earnest human again, and then went out the front door to leave the manor. And then the bats attacked, but we killed them, and then we left.
Yes,
And that was the end of the session. Then we
very nice.
level up on our next long rest.
Mm-hmm. Well, I certainly was not expecting the introductory quest to take 6 sessions, but here we are.
We're
and we
that
have
good.
fun, so
It's going to be a 5-year
good
campaign, not
time.
because you
Yeah,
planned it
my
that way.
1-year campaign just turned into a 4-year campaign.
I'm here for it. RP heavy campaign.
Oh
best
boy.
campaign.
I hope not.
You know, I haven't checked,
I
but
have
I think I have the next
plans.
4 years figured out, so we're
I
good.
have things that I need to do. with my
100,
life.
100 years, Dragon's Age. 100 years, Rick and Morty Adventures.
.com
.com.
/ Dragon's
Or
Age.
/ 100 years / Dragon's Age DMing. .html / 100 years. 100 years, Dragon's Age.
/ Creed thoughts.
We could always go Professor Dungeon Master from Dungeon Craft route. He's been playing his campaign. He's been DMing the same campaign for like 25 years,
Oh my god.
and they're currently level
What even is there to
6?
do after that long?
6?
They're level 6. Yeah.
Did they just like perpetually stay level 6?
think
Because I've
I
heard
would-
there's some people
think-
that like do that. They'll like level up for a couple sessions and then just chill.
Yeah, that's that's how I do it usually. Their milestones
like
are quick
after-
successions, and then they coast for a while.
Yeah,
I
after
never
that-
really even thought about that or considered doing it that way.
I mean, like it ramps up in my head. So milestone, like the easier milestones, building up to the big bad for that arc or whatever for that chapter, and then they coast for a little while because they're discovering another evil in another area or something, or
So
a
each
bigger evil.
level is like an entire story.
That's how I do it, pretty much. Yeah.
There's like chapters.
A
There's
milestone
levels
is
of
like
what
them
chapter you're
accomplishing
on.
something big
That's
that's bigger than
kind
the
of like
last
what
milestone.
my last campaign was, because it was like somewhat disjointed sections, and they'd get a level approximately for each one of those sections.
Yeah, and they're all harder than the previous. Like, if we
It
were
was
level
like
19 killing
Books
Draynor,
in
we
the
wouldn't
Harry
get
Potter
lucky, you know?
series, you know, they get a
Sounds
level
like
up at the
A
end of the
level
year.
3. Yeah, exactly. They get more spell slots.
More spells, yeah.
Exactly. Well said.
Okay, so the party is leaving the manor, finally. And returning to Draynor, taking Earnest with them. We can exit that map now and go back to the world map. Oh, and let's center it over here so that the stream isn't lost. I'm gonna zoom in a bit, actually. Here we go.
Why did it? Where's my game? Okay, I tapped it out. There it is. Good.
Okay. Okay. Did you guys have a long rest in there? No.
No,
You just
we
had a
were-
short rest.
We were gonna.
Okay.
take one.
Yeah, for the short rest, we
So-
debated on having a long rest.
Right, and let's see, how long did it take to get there? It is about 10 or 12 miles away, which is about 4 hours. So if you left at like 9 in the morning, you would have gotten there at 1. Spent at least 2 hours there, probably about 2 hours, including the rest. So it'd be like 3 o'clock. It's afternoon. As you depart from the manor, You pass by the farmhouse that you spoke with the farmer there on your way out, approximately like here-ish, at the side of the road, before you hit the crossroads. By the way, you are also, or more specifically, Dermo is carrying a sheep on his back.
Yeah, could
So
I go ahead and
keep that in mind.
could I go ahead and take a pit stop over to Mr. John, the farmer?
Yeah.
Thought we were
Did I
keeping
call
the
him John? If I named him, I have no clue what I called. Totally
For you, you're welcome,
John. His name's John now.
Farmer John. John Deere, if you will.
Oh my god. No. That's his name now. We're not sponsored. Actually, we might get sued. That's not his name.
Could you imagine them suing like a small stream over a
Suing the stream that has 2 viewers, both of which are people in the
Players.
game or their girlfriends.
Am I your girlfriend?
Yes.
No.
Okay. Alright, never mind.
Hey man, you never know. John Deere's done some really shaky shit.
What
yeah.
are your plans at Farmer John's?
Just stopping in, letting him know that the attacks should have been taken care of. You know, he should be not so worried about sheep disappearing. The whole while, I have Bob on my back, and I do not mention him once.
I feel like given that like the convenience that you've done for him, he probably won't even really question you about it. He'll definitely be like looking at it a lot though while you're talking to him.
Like, that's my sheep. He just saved it, so
Yeah. I think
Okay.
that's the idea.
okay. Yeah, so if he doesn't ask for it back, I will just let him know that he can let his guard down a little bit, and that the evil has been vanquished, and I'll go ahead and hippity hop on out.
Alrighty.
Hippity hoppity, the sheep is now your property.
Yes. Hippity
That was
hoppity. Your
I
animals
think
are
that's
my
the best
property.
joke. That is the best joke so
All your
far.
animals are belong to me.
But also, may I just say, I do not believe in the ownership of animals. Fuck them. No. I'm like a communist for animals.
Wait, would you say I don't? What'd you say?
No, I was just joking around. I totally own the sheep. He's mine. Don't touch him.
You don't believe in the ownership of animals?
I literally live on a farm in real life. It'd be really fucked up if I
Wait a
believed
minute.
that. Yeah.
Wait a
I've
minute, this was your idea.
This whole operation was your
Your
idea.
plan.
I want to liberate all the just like open the pen as we walk by. No. Yeah, so I'll go ahead and meet up with. Did the guys wait outside, or did they come with me, or what?
I mean, we're walking by the farm essentially. That like had missing sheep on the way back.
Yeah.
I mean, I would just post up outside, letting him do whatever he was going to do. I didn't really. My confrontation with the farmer, I believe I talked to him, but he was less than helpful to Dermo. Kind of popped in, so I'll let him handle it.
All right,
wait on
yeah.
the
So
it smells like a farm. Yeah, it smells like a farm.
it smells much like a farm.
Smells like
Yeah.
poop. Yep.
I'll stay on the road while we wait for him to do his thing, get his institutes in order.
Do Garaho have livestock?
Yeah, they can be nomadic, but that doesn't mean they don't have cattle that go with them, livestock and shit, or whatever the equivalent is.
Cool.
I don't think there's any canon on like the livelihood of Garaho. They're pretty.
How could you
ambiguous.
not know this? We got 2 Garaho
This is our
experts.
actually-
So I have a theory that we're 2 Garaho pulled from
Nobody-
2 different Garahan planets in the same universe, and our lifestyles are very different, but we have similar kind of we worship similar kind of ideas, we follow similar cultural things. How the tribes and
Yeah, could you
I don't know.
imagine if
That's
the
my
Colorado
theory.
is where all the horses are, and so when they see a unicorn, they're like, "Oh, it's a horse with a horn," and we're all like, "A what?"
A what? A what with a horn?
Yeah. Oh, you mean that cow-looking thing?
I'm not sure what a horse
Weird
is.
muscular
I've never-
cow?
You talking about a like a
You're muscular.
unicorn that had horns sawn off? I'm not sure what a horse is.
Yeah. So we'll just continue. I guess there's if he seems cool with it. He didn't pay me, right? He didn't like have anything to give.
Probably he wouldn't like outwardly offer to pay you anything. I mean, you did take his sheep.
That was the
No,
thing.
yeah. No, that's completely fine. I wanted to check in with him just in case he's like, "Oh, thanks. Here's my youngest daughter." I don't know.
Here's my first.
What?
Whoa, huh?
That escalated way too quick.
Oh my god. Oh no.
We
To
don't
be
have
fair,
that good, I
that
don't know.
probably
Maybe
would
you
have been a thing.
We could barely feed our own mouths. You want to bring an extra one into this mess?
Oh no.
I got my sheep now.
This isn't what I thought you meant when you said ownership of animals. No. Moving on.
Unless the sheep. Oh wait, hold on. Oh no. It's one and the same thing.
Uh-oh.
His bride to be is the sheep.
Oh
No.
no!
Stop.
No! No!
No.
Princess
Guys,
Bob.
Guys, my friend is in the chat.
Oh no.
That was your first mistake.
Bye, Zayd's friend. It was nice talking for 30 minutes.
see you in 2 months. All right. Let's see. Yeah, you make your way past the crossroads back closer to the village, where the farms are more dense. And eventually you could see the outskirts of the tiny little town. And enter it, and you're back in the village with the sheep. Earnest then will probably thank you guys for saving him and for escorting him back, and then he will be wanting to head off home to back home to his wife.
I think he owes us a life debt now. He can't leave.
Uh-oh.
You belong to us now. No.
You can't own everything that you save.
And your
I mean,
fiance,
you know, like an army.
Dermo wanted a wife. Your fiance belongs to him now.
Oh no.
It's called being heroes. Look it up, guys. We just saved the village. We get to
We had this like deep philosophical like conversation last time about like how far do we go for the greater good, and now we're talking about like literally stealing
I mean,
people.
out of character. Yeah, I think we're just out of character saying it. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
It was a funny idea, but we should do it. What? Sorry.
So we split ways with Earnest, and
Mm-hmm.
Where do we go
I
from there?
gotta mute my messenger tab so that we don't get bedings in the chat or in
Ba-ding.
the stream.
Ba-ding.
Look
Okay.
at Mr. Popular over here. It's bedings.
No, it's just Mrs. DM texting me videos and memes and stuff.
Dang, she never
Look
sends
who
any
has
of
a
us
Mrs.
videos.
DM who actually sends them content and doesn't just send them horse-related memes.
Oh god, it's one of those like cursed mobile game ads.
Oh, I
Oh,
love
nice.
that. Mafia
There-
City?
No, it's Ant Legion.
Oh my god, they have so many ads. Crazy.
Anyway, we're not doing free advertising for them.
No, fuck
You
Ant
just-
Legion.
Also,
you
did
just-
the
funny thing
did the
about that, you
music
just
shut
did.
off? I thought I told it to loop the queue. Fredboat, what are you doing?
He's doing his best. Back off, DM. All right. Leave the bot alone. It's not the bot's fault.
Next. Okay, it's just not doing anything. That's fine. We'll have silence for a bit. Alright, What do?
I'm now that like we finished the task, I'm gonna go back to the clerk's office and explain to him that I don't know how much money 150 gold pieces. Actually, let's get there and we'll role play it. We'll get there and role play it.
Clark the clerk.
Yeah, Clark the clerk is. I got some words for him.
Yep.
Daishu, you ready?
Oh god, it's gonna be
Gonna
like,
reel it.
you guys gotta give us a bajillion gold.
Really lean into that new level in Barbarian.
Yeah, you're gonna see the. Ooh, I'm cracking the long bones right now. Hold on, give me a good stretch. I don't want to pull anything with my rage.
Oh wait, yeah, did you take a level in Barbarian?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I did.
Did you, for your hit die, for level up?
I
did
rolled a
you-
12 because I took a level for Barbarian. If I take a
Okay.
level for Paladin, I'll go back to the hit dice for that. But
Gotcha.
yeah. So I want to go into Clark's. My blood's already boiling at this point. Like I'm still
You don't
recovering.
have your rages yet.
I mean, I have my blood rage, which is a racial
Oh my
thing, which
God.
is why
God dang
Barbarian
it.
still works. Barbarian works. Anyways, yeah, no, I'm like my blood is raging literally, and I'm like, this is the spurring moment when I go to bed tonight. I'm gonna be a barbarian the next morning. This is my rosebud. Yeah, I want to go into the clerk's office. What happens to you? I'm gonna like slam the door open.
All of us go into the clerk's office. Carrying
Let's see. I think it would be. Would he be gone yet? He's probably like settling down, but he hasn't left his place yet.
we go in and
Because
it's
it's
like
like
8 at night,
7
he's already
p.m.
gone.
now.
I would like to unsettle him down.
Actually, you might have to wait till the next day. Here, now you can actually rage there, because yeah, it would be like sunset when you get there. When you get back to the village.
Yeah, my blood rage is more of an attack, but yeah.
So you go to the office and you find that he's not there when nobody answers the door.
Where is this Clark? Where is
It's
this
like-
Clark the clerk? I'll
If-
say to anyone still in the office.
My god. There's nobody there, it's just him.
It's just him.
Or, well, he's not there.
It's just
No one's
Only
there?
he works
a locked
there.
door.
It's
The
a
door is
tiny
locked. I'm
little,
slamming on the- I'm-
little room.
I can get inside still, it's just empty? What? That seems unsafe.
Oh my, no.
So the
You're
door's
not
closed.
The
The
door's
door's-
closed.
I'm
It's
slamming
locked.
on the I'm banging on the door.
It's locked
Yell-
and
yelling
there's
for
no
Clark.
one there.
I have
'Cause
a, I
it's
mean, I have a
dark
lock. I have a
already.
lock pick set called a battering ram, but I'm not going to
raise
use
up
it.
the logic of they have operation hours. It's too late. They've probably gone home.
I'm not familiar with the operation hour. This is the place of business. Why is he not here?
Business only happens for a few hours in the day.
You are only obligated to the tribe for only certain hours of the day? And I'm gonna look at Daishu.
This is what?
Well, I mean, you don't do your job for every waking hour. Sometimes you have to go eat and sleep.
I'm gonna give him a really unconfirming nod. I'm gonna be like, okay, humans. That's not how it works where I come from. Your job- your
"When
job
I'm at
is
your
your
age,
job."
I work 30 hours a day.
Say, is there hours posted on the door, DM, of like when?
Do they have that sophisticated of signage
That's what
in
I'm
a
saying, I
medieval
don't know.
fantasy
I
world?
mean, and it's not even
Probably
like
not.
maybe in a city, but like not a town.
No,
like Draynor.
probably no. You don't see anything that indicates the hours, and I would think that most places wouldn't even have that.
Is there
They
someone
don't even know what
walking
an hour
around?
is.
Yeah,
It's
they
only
probably don't
7.
even. Do they even have accurate timekeeping?
Sure, yeah,
I don't
absolutely.
know.
There's 10 months in the RuneScape calendar.
I mean, like down to the hour, though.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
literally
like
does.
days.
It literally
the
does.
hours are different than
Hmm.
days. Hey, the sun's up. It's
Hours,
good.
our RuneScape follows Gregorian
It'd be like-
calendar with day form and hour form, but it has 10 months with weird amounts
Yeah,
of
yeah.
days.
I don't
Yeah,
think
but
I've ever
like-
seen nighttime.
Tell me how
except
they
for-
hang
have-
on.
How do they
Clocks
have
are canon, actually.
How do they have astrology discovered but not like a calendar? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's-
actually,
that's-
there are grandfather clocks, so that's canon.
I mean, literally, Scopius discovered like the telescope, and they built one, and they discovered the stars and time and
Maybe
space.
that's
and how
like
it worked.
novel research, and he hasn't shared it with anyone yet.
It depends on what year it is. I don't know what year it is in the campaign. I mean,
We're in the
canonically, I'm
5th
sure.
age.
Yeah, I know, but the 5th age was like 170 years, homie.
168,
Okay.
5th age,
Gotcha.
or something.
Guthix isn't even dead yet, boys.
That's
Yeah, but let us
spoilers.
save our boy.
Yeah, well, I mean, like spoilers, but like
Dies?
he's always been alive. Yeah, what? I'm sorry.
2013 spoilers.
Well, yeah, if you haven't done the quest yet, you're just really late, honestly.
Yeah, I feel like at this point, if you haven't done While Gothic sleeps or anything, you deserve
You're
to
probably
be
not
spoiled.
gonna do it at this point.
See, it was a surprise for my players in the other campaign, but
It was-
that was the campaign.
It was a good. That's fair. You did a Wild Gothic Sleeps campaign.
World Wakes campaign.
Yeah, that's what I meant. That's
Yeah.
his arc.
Yeah.
Nice. That's cool.
Quest. It's such a cool quest series.
Anyhow,
Anyhow, we're tracked a lot today. That week off really just fried us.
what?
The week off that we took this
Yeah.
last week. Yeah, it like reset all of us. We're on like super sidetrack mode.
Oh yeah, this is why we need to meet like 30 minutes early so we can get all of our sidetracked chat out of the way.
And then an hour into the session, it just comes back, and bubbles up.
But yeah, I will try. Deflos will try his best to keep everyone on track. Be like, listen, they're done for the day. All we can do right now is rest for the night, and then in the morning, after we eat, we'll be able to see the clerk.
How close is this to the inn?
The village isn't that big, so probably just a few minutes walk.
Could I find a big shiny rock and hand it to?
What was that?
Do we need to gain? What is it called? A bed for the night.
Oh, it's fine. Let me take care of that.
You'll see Khan kind of nod as you say that. He says, "I'll look over at Deishu and I'll say, our fellow tribesman is taking care of us for the night. I do not want to sleep outside after everything we've been through. I'm still recovering.
Yeah.
My body's
Sleeping
probably still pretty weak."
Yeah, I'll get us all rooms. Don't worry.
Thank you, brother.
Maybe we could tell the innkeeper that Clark the clerk said he was going to cover our stay.
That's a lie, and I wouldn't do that.
Well, he hasn't paid us yet, so it's kind of like, hey, put it on our tab, you know?
I mean, tomorrow
Yeah, so
after
can we-
changing with I can be like, I'm gonna go across to the tavern and get super drunk, and you're gonna pay for it. Bye. But Khan wouldn't just assume someone's gonna pay for something without ever even letting.
Well, we
them
also
know.
don't very much understand money, so yeah, it'd be really weird
Yeah.
for us to assume.
I definitely would like a drink, but I have no money.
Yeah, let's head to the inn and take a little kitty nap.
Yeah, we probably need one. It's late in the afternoon.
Let's take a siesta.
Yeah, I'll eat one of my rations. I'll share one of my rations with Deishu. He knows
Alrighty.
I like the dried berries and nuts, so.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see. Back at the inn, it is. I think I had it. 5 silver. A
Hey, that
person.
sounds familiar.
I think that's what I usually go with.
Can we maybe talk him down to 4 silver?
Yeah, I think you said it was free for Graho. Because they like those.
Yeah. Let's see if we can work him down to 4 silver per person for the group
I recall,
discount.
I have in my notes here, Dan.
Bulk discount.
Yeah, can I pull
Um,
out my phone and show him the Groupon and shake it in its face?
Oh
So he
my
can't
god.
read it? How you know I work customer
It's
service?
got a Garahoop on.
Does this innkeeper have the quick QR code? Does he have the?
Yeah,
Can he
he's
scan
got
it? He's got a
he's
scanner.
got Square.
Yeah, nice.
The
Yeah,
little
cool.
thing plugs into your phone.
Nice. Yeah, he'll probably take Apple Pay then. I'll tell Thermo.
Oh my god.
Nice. You know.
Yeah, but wait, I have an Android. Can we do Samsung Pay instead?
We do get a room, I assume.
Yes.
We get. How many rooms do we get? 2 or 4? We can't all fit into one room, obviously.
How many rooms are in
I think
Draynor?
they are single rooms. I usually just I don't know.
I mean, if you want to go for realism, we'd basically all share a single bed in a single room.
Huh?
I mean, I imagine a place like this would have a couple rooms with like cot style beds in it.
Oh,
honestly.
maybe.
That's
I
how
don't know.
that's how I picture it.
Sure, we can do that.
Could not share a bed with Thermo. I can put
Like it might have 2 rooms, one with a big bed for like the nicer stuff, and it might have another room that they rent out that can fit like 4 to 6 that has like bunk bed kind of sailor style,
like a pumice stone, I wouldn't lay
sailor
next to
style
Thermo.
cots. You know what I mean? That's how I picture it in my head. In a place like Draynor, at least.
Yeah, that's probably fair for a teeny village.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Zephylos is getting his own room though.
Yeah, you can have the big room. I'll take the cot in the other room.
Wait, are one of you Garaho gonna sleep under the bed like you did with the market stall?
Absolutely.
Underneath the
Look,
bed.
tribesmen, they have space underneath sleeping area for more sleeping area. You know, I can picture it.
Amazing. Well, you have an eventful night where you sleep.
So I am not going to stay up all night, because I still need to get the long rest. But I am definitely like staying up in like the common area, so I won't disturb those who are sleeping. I am tinkering with my armor all night. Well, not all night, but
Yeah,
for a while.
I would stay with Deishu and talk a while about what happened, but I would go to bed ultimately long enough for a long rest.
Mm-hmm.
So it's 7 in the afternoon.
You guys have a bit of downtime before you really like actually need to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
So and during some of that time,
repair my armor kind of stuff.
Yeah, like Daisho spends a lot of time tinkering with some new devices, including several armor modifications. Dermo perhaps might be sort of meditating and strengthening his connection with nature significantly. Zephylos probably studying his spells and his scrolls very intently. And Khan is just getting really angry.
I mean, Khan's been angry, but he's spending time in wherever Deishu's working on repairing gear. I need my gear repaired, obviously.
He's just boiling in his emotions.
Yeah, I'm pretty much venting
and
to Deishu right now.
You wake up so angry that you have 1 level of barbarian.
Literally, I yelled so hard I became a barbarian.
There's my level up flavor factor right there. So.
Oh yeah.
Anything else?
Until he gives me a level.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the second that Dermo hits the bed, he is fast asleep and snoring. He did take care of the sheep and fed him, and he is letting the sheep freely roam around the room as if it is his room as well.
That's fun. They probably wouldn't let you take a sheep in there, though.
Well, I paid.
It doesn't count. You still have to follow the rules.
What rule? Tell me the rule that says no sheep.
They literally pull out a book.
The rules.
No, the rules.
The rule book that specifically actually says no sheep because they live next to farms.
No. If you were to say that to the innkeeper, they'd be like, no, no, you can't have a sheep in here.
I'll just say that it's a cloak,
They offer to let you put it in their like tiny little stable,
Okay. Yeah.
which is
that's fine.
outside.
Yeah, the
Okay.
stable
That's
in
fair.
Draynor.
That's fair.
It's literally like a shack. That's like 6 feet on a side,
Yeah, I'm gonna
and
put Bob into
it's
into
got
the
like a
chat.
really poorly thatched roof, so it's like leaky when it rains. It could
Sounds nice.
fit like one horse maximum, but there's no horses there, and also they don't exist.
Yeah, what now?
Yeah, yeah. If you want to keep your unicorn,
They could fit a what in there, DM? I apologize.
A hornless unicorn.
Ah, poor bastards.
How are they gonna stab things with
Everyone's
their
trying
head?
to take their horns for herbalism training. Am I right, guys?
Yep. It's not
I'll
like
do it.
poison's that common.
Yeah, someone's never met Zora.
That's venom, you doofus.
Also, let me know if you can hear
That's fair, I
any
guess.
excessive level of background noise. I don't think it's too loud, but let me know if it is, and I'll literally just talk louder and like make the mic quieter.
There's lots. I just realized there's lots of things in RuneScape that bite you, and you become poisoned when they should be venom. Is it not? An anti-poison should be anti-venom.
Yeah.
That seems fair, but at the same time, they made the video game in 2001. I don't think.
Yeah, but that's not a new developed thing. That's how that's always been.
Yeah, but the
I feel like
common
the issue is
your
Can we
your
DM
average
Mark?
Joe
Someone
your
DM
average
Mark
Joe
and
doesn't know or care about the difference between venom and poison.
We're no
Conceptually,
average
they're pretty
Joe.
similar.
Imagine drinking anti-poison when you need anti-venom.
Oh my god.
you die because you waited a long time.
Anywho.
Yes, Draynor immediately falls asleep in his bed after he puts his best of sheep to sleep as well, and he has very vivid dreams of what just transpired, and he reflects on them in like a meditative dream world.
Yeah, I imagine Khan was like venting to Deishu for so long he passed out of like exhaustion and like just anger.
Have
And
you ever had
Deishu eventually brought him to
You
bed.
wake up just feeling gross, like you wake up with the emotion from the dream, and you just feel fucking like terrible.
I mean, I have a blanket on me that has like some blood on it now from where Dermot was trying to clean up a sheep, and I'm sure he wrapped me up in that while he was finishing up.
Yes, someone that is very close to me will have bad dreams and then be really angry when they wake up.
Yeah, we have no idea who you're talking about.
Yeah,
Definitely,
that's odd.
Mhm.
Odd.
definitely not someone who knows where you sleep.
Yeah.
Someone who you'd be in vicinity of when they woke up.
Uh-huh.
Can't figure that one out, do you?
Someone who has to deal with the aftermath.
Okay, so dude, I can't remember. Does the bed hold up my weight no problem, or is it kind of like one of those things where it's like
it doesn't break, but it like creaks a lot whenever you move.
right? Okay.
That'd be
Is
funny
it
to watch
comfortable, or is it like? Is it comfortable, or is it pretty like just laying on the ground?
It's
with
okay.
pillows?
It's better than lying on the floor.
Okay.
Unless you're one of those weird people that likes to sleep on a really hard surface.
That's me.
I know people like that. I don't get it.
That's 100% me. I bought the firmest mattress I could find, and I was like, I like the floor more.
Once I started having to pay taxes, I couldn't do it anymore.
I'm literally a dwarf in real life. I like shiny rocks, I'm covered in hair, and I like sleeping on hard surfaces and drinking beer. It's just like my life. Oddly enough, I've never played a dwarf in D&D in all the campaigns I've been in.
Huh.
Maybe that's something I need to do. I've never played a paladin until now, so that's a new one. Maybe dwarfs on the list.
I have
Wait,
only
is
played
dwarf a
in like
regular race?
2 games, so I've got a lot of classes to try still.
Dwarf is a regular race. How would you make that into like a RuneScape one? Because the dwarves in RuneScape are pretty trash.
It would pretty much translate for the most part.
It was pretty. I think there were minimal, if any, changes.
Yeah.
I
You
think I
changed
just
the
maybe
background of them.
swapped a few like sub-race traits for the 2 sub-races that I had. And then I
Okay.
added an optional flavor feature, which is that they can't use magic unless they're an Imcando dwarf.
Nice.
Oh, nice. Okay, let's stop getting sidetracked. We're gonna get back on track, and we're not taking it.
Yep.
Got this.
You awake in the morning, and because of the inspiration that each of you had from the day of perilous adventure that had just passed, as well as the studying and tinkering and sleeping, I guess, and being angry, you each have significantly improved your skills. I usually like to. It's better to like pretend that it's like a gradual process, and maybe you're like kind of finalizing some of the things like on the last night, and or like gaining confidence in your ability to use them in a dangerous situation or the whatever situation. But yeah.
I like to think of it kind of my twist or my thoughts on it is like level 1 adventure is a level 20 adventure who's unlocked all its potential. And so that power has always been in us, unless it's stuff like a warlock where you make a pact or whatever else with a cleric or paladin. Things like that will give you power from a deity or
Yeah.
a powerful patron
Yeah,
directly.
that's probably
like you're
like
being
the
bestowed upon immediately.
that's
And
like the exception, like a warlock or
right,
maybe like a cleric or a paladin too can be like,
right.
you know, like your deity was like, all
It
right, like
literally
snap their
gave you that
fingers, and
magical
it's
power.
like, here's
Yeah,
your level 2 spells now. But
exactly.
most of the other classes, I would imagine it's more of like, throughout the whole time that you were the previous level, you were practicing new techniques, and now you have
Right.
finalized your ability to use
Right.
them.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what, yeah.
I like to think that the campaign shapes my characters a lot, hence the level of barbarian just now, actually. But like that rage mixed with my powerful kind of magical ability already has not mutated, but morphed my magical power into something stronger and different, right? So that's how I see it.
Right.
It's like I've unlocked a new potential that I always had, but it's flavored to my character based on how it was unlocked, which was in rage.
Oh no, how am I supposed to fit paladin / barbarian in your little tiny name tag?
Just just keep whatever my highest level is, and then put /
Okay.
other.
What are your plans for levels in each class? Are you gonna like alternate? Are you gonna go a bunch of barbarian
We'll
levels? What you gonna do?
see how. I guess no one just heard what I just said. We'll see how the campaign shapes con, and we'll see what happens.
Oh yeah, see, I don't pay attention to anything.
Yeah. And here we are, sidetracked again, and no one's listening to anyone.
Wait, you guys are talking?
We'll
What?
see. No, I plan on taking at least a level of artificer over time because I'm bonding with Daishu
Ooh.
throughout the campaign.
Ooh,
But I'll probably
triple
stay.
multi-class.
Yeah, I'll probably stay on the barbarian paladin.
Wait, do you even have high enough intelligence for that?
No, but we'll figure it
Oh
out.
wait, yeah, wouldn't you need like 5 or 6 more points in intelligence to take a level in artificer?
Yeah, DM, won't I? I'm a player. Maybe we could figure out a way to do that.
Well, man.
Maybe you can take like a feat that's like,
I mean, when I hit fourth, I just take 2 improvements, and that
like,
hits me.
you know how there's like the battle master feat?
Yeah, I was just saying, like, or when I
Like
hit
that,
4, I
but
just take
for
two raw
but
ability
for
improvement.
like the devices or whatever.
There's lots of ways to get there, but I'll figure it out when we get to that
Yeah.
bridge. I'll cross it, or when we get to that bridge,
Alright.
I'll burn it. You know how it is.
You gather in the main area of the inn, where you are served some food, as is customary,
What kind
with
of
the
food?
cost of your room. Today they have a rabbit stew,
I'm feeling something
um,
with meat. I definitely want that.
a
Feeling a little
rabbit
more
stew
aggressive this
and
morning.
cabbages.
Feeling a little angry this morning, still residually. Kind of odd. Is breakfast ready when I get down there?
Yeah, there's a small number of other people also at the inn, so you know
I'm gonna.
they've got it ready.
I'll grab 2 bowls and sit down, waiting for Daishu to join me whenever he comes down.
I'm probably the last one down.
Yeah, he's tinkering and he got to bed late, so. Made sure he got food, and actually, I would try to juggle 3 bowls for Zephylos too.
Yeah. So if I smelled the bowl, if Dermo smelled the bowl, would he be able to tell it's rabbit, or can he see rabbit in it?
Make a perception check. This is gonna be the campaign's like only smell-based perception check.
I
'Cause it,
mean,
like,
he
never
could come
comes
down
up.
and see me slapping away at soup and ask me if there's meat. That would work too.
Okay, yeah. Because I don't have the applet pulled up.
Yeah.
I'll ask if he's going Chowtown right now. I'll just go ahead and check with him, or you
I
can roll
imagine that was the
perception
first
for
one,
me.
yeah.
Let's see. Hang on. I'll roll
I do
it.
want
We'll
to
see how
steer
good
what my
you
perception
are
roll would be.
smelling things. Oh yeah, you
just
see,
wanted to smell perception.
you immediately recognize the meat as rabbit, the primary meat in the stew.
Yeah, so I'll go ahead and grab 2 cabbages, 2 whole heads of cabbage, and start just chomping into them.
Wait, is he a vegetarian? I forgot.
Yes, entirely.
Oh yeah, okay. I mean, you probably would have been able to tell that there's meat in there, regardless of whether you had to smell it.
Not a vegan, right? Just a vegetarian. Like you still eat eggs and stuff.
Just vegetarian. Yeah,
Okay.
correct.
Just asking.
That's even on shaky ground in general, but we're not even gonna get into all that.
We're not gonna have.
If you can. No, but you can have like a potato stew. I mean, there's plenty of like
for sure. You can make
stews and
veggies too.
soup that have.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's why I had to make sure before I go slopping into it, and it's like, bam. I mean, if you're vegetarian in a world of meat, you kind of double check everything.
Joke's on you. The cabbage was actually a rabbit-based cabbage substitute.
The whole time.
The cabbage is alive.
Yeah, it's the Gower's quest all over again.
Wait, yeah, if you guys discover that cabbage is sentient, can you not eat it as a vegetarian?
That is correct. Even if it's not made of meat, if it has consciousness, then you wouldn't be morally allowed to.
But it wants to be eaten.
That's true.
Okay, we're not going to get into all the deeper
it's beyond the level of consciousness where it can't give consent to be eaten, right? It can do that.
Flashback an hour ago when the DM says, "Wow, the first simple introductory quest took 6 sessions." Flashback now. If cabbage is sentient, can a vegetarian eat it?
LMAO.
I think it's the same thing as like cannibalism. Even though the person could say yes, you can eat me, doesn't make him vegetarian. No.
I mean, would you want a vegetable that was like, "Please don't eat me," or would you want to eat one that was like, "Eat me, you bastard! Put me in your fucking mouth and eat me." That's right.
I am delicious. Please enjoy.
Yeah, tear me apart. Here's your teeth. Which would you prefer as a vegetable? Really? The one that begs you not to, or the one that's like just so aggressive with it?
Yeah, no, I think
Some food for thought. Am I right, guys?
If I had to pick, I would eat the one who's begging me to do it. I feel like the other option.
Same question. Toilets. Would you want a toilet that's like, "Yeah, poop inside me, do it," like, or one that's like, "Please don't do it, don't put me through this"? Which one do you want?
I feel like I have to take a turn with each of them just to see which one was better.
We should play D&D.
We should.
It is D&D.
I'm explaining to my friend the cabbage thing. I just sent her the wiki page for Brassica Prime.
Oh, they didn't know about like cabbages.
No, they don't know about the power of deliciousness.
Yeah, the whole meme about the entire
The power
game,
of
like
highly concentrated nutrients.
Well, you need to tell them that cabbages is the word that they used to replace curse words back in the day.
Oh yeah, I totally forgot about
I have
that.
a player who's a Brassican in one of my campaigns.
Really?
Unironically a Brassican. Yeah, he's like cabbage.
We are
god.
so far away from D&D at this point. At this point,
Yeah.
we're just talking about if you're allowed to eat cabbages.
All
and they
right.
can talk to you.
Yeah, let's play some D&D for sure.
All
I look
right.
forward to this session each week. I want
We
to
have
play
woken
it.
up. We decided
Oh
to
my
do
god,
this.
Zach's first chat in the stream is to post Brassica's dialogue.
A glorious first message, I think.
Yeah. So, do you think Dermo would be able to eat an entire cabbage in one mouthful, or would he have to chomp into it
If it
with
was
this
like a
weird
smaller
alien?
cabbage, probably, because you're huge.
I'm
And you
Meowsive.
got
Yeah,
that big weird mouth that has like
I do.
crazy
Yeah.
mandibles.
His mouth's not weird, Dermo. Your mouth's not weird. I'm sure it's perfectly normal for whatever the hell you are.
Wait, who are you defending me from?
No, it's not Khan.
The
It's
voice in my head is
Shab's defending you.
yeah. Shab is defending me against the
Khan's
voice
facing into a bowl of soup,
in my head that's
aggressively shoveling.
self-doubting. uh, yeah, so I grabbed 2 cabbages and I will immediately eat them. I will meet back, grab third. If I can speak to get out, Bob.
He's going in and out for me. Can you hear him?
Yeah, I can't
Yeah,
understand.
we lost him, I think.
Oh, did I
Classic
lag
Dermo.
out a little bit?
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, what'd you say?
Yeah, I hit a dead zone. That's my fault. Yeah, so I would eat my 2 cabbages, and then I would try and sneak a third one for Bob.
Aw, yeah, I mean, that's fine. I do like imagining you with your weird mouth eating like a whole cabbage in 2 bites. That is pretty funny.
Yeah, or one.
Just like,
The Devils will come down at some point. He's not in his mage armor like plate mail. He's just in his robes, and he'll come and eat.
does your mage armor actually look like armor, like in the
Yeah.
picture?
Yeah, that's what the picture is him in mage armor.
You
But, like, when
literally, we talked about it before the campaign started.
See,
like,
I didn't know how literal it was.
Yeah, no, so literally his mage armor is
Okay.
armor. And
Uh-huh.
then when he's not in mage armor, it's just his like wizardy robes.
Mm-hmm.
Aren't they called like battle robes or something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, he does the whole like when he casts mage armor, he does the whole like magic girl transformation.
Hell yeah.
That's quite literally how I'm flavoring it.
Love it.
No, but on a serious note, I do picture it like, in Fate of the Gods when Zeros is just a little blob, and you give him the simulacrum and he becomes a humanoid, but then runes start circling around him, and then they become armor plates that affix to him. Like, that's how I picture mage armor.
Sure.
As he comes down the
That's a very
stairs,
specific reference.
I'll lift up the bowl that I poured for him, and while I'm slurping my bowl with my hand, I'll hold it up and till he sees it, and then I want to get a head nod. I'll put it back down while I'm slurping away.
Yeah, Zephylos will look into the bowl and make sure it's human food. He as soon as he recognizes that as food, he'll sit down and start
It's
eating.
definitely food.
Yeah.
It's pretty good. It's hot and there's meat chunks in it. And I'll go back to slurping, wiping away bits of stew from my face while I tell him that.
Yeah, he's just a little skeptical when the Graho offer him food. He's never really seen the meat. So.
I'll point to where I got it from. I'm like, I got you some before it all ran out. Part of the tribe, brother.
Oh, excellent. Thank you. Sorry I'm late. I was just studying some new magic. When I was reading the diary of Draynor, I saw some interesting notes.
There is no late, brother. Dermo always takes his sweet time in the morning. I am used to it. We go when the tribe is ready, and I'll go back to slurping.
I'll dawdle down a little later. Fuzzy eyes, yawning.
Or did I say Dermo or Deishu? I meant to say
You said Dermo, but I
bad.
auto-corrected to Deishu.
Yeah, same.
Deishu. How about the D names, boys?
Yeah. I can put it down. It takes all of his sweet time.
Yeah, I'm slightly dyslexic, so it's tough for me sometimes.
Yeah, it's like being the dad. You did the dad thing where you're like, oh, look who's finally awake.
They're both 6-letter names that start with DE, and my brain wants to.
We're pretty interchangeable, a 600-pound beast and a guy who looks exactly like you.
Works for me. All right. Anyways.
So now that we've gotten our bearings a little bit, perhaps after this we can take a walk to the clerk's office, and there we can, you know, inform them of our findings.
I want to slam my bowl down, DM. What's it made of, and what's the table made of?
Both wood.
Yeah, I'm gonna slam the wooden bowl into the wooden table as I finish it, and as he tells me we should go to the clerk's office.
It goes clunk.
Yeah. I look over to Zephylos and I go,
Brother, I've been waiting all night. I could barely sleep a wink. I am so angry I almost died for these gold pieces.
Yeah, I will. We're almost there. This is the easy part. We just talk to them, report our findings, and then we probably have to go. He said that the money was being held in Varrock, so either they're going to ship it here, or we have to take a trip to the capital.
They don't even have the GPs here?
No, they wouldn't keep it here. That's how they get robbed.
"Is this what
That, to be fair, that much gold is probably enough to buy a few farms here. That's a ridiculous amount of money for Draynor.
I have no reference for how much GPs that is.
Well, 1 day of hard work is a single gold
And
for
what is
most
our
people.
and what is our payout?
We're splitting it to 50 gold a person.
Slight clarification. I think the 1 day or 1 gold per day metric is supposed to be for like a skilled artisan.
Yeah,
So
a farmer would be like a
even
silver.
better than your average person's
Yeah.
earnings.
Because isn't 1 gold like $100? Like that's like pretty good.
Basically, yeah.
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 Yeah, like
Oh.
a copper could be like $1.
Yeah, Zephylos
Sort of.
stressed this. He's like, this food we're eating right now is a couple of coppers. We're
Yeah,
getting
I would say.
and then he'll do the translation. He'll say it goes from copper to 10 copper to a silver, and then 10 silver to a gold, and we're getting 50 gold pieces each. This is a ridiculous amount of money. They wouldn't put it here with the clerk. They would keep it probably in a treasury or a coffer, so like a space dedicated to protecting and holding money. A bank, if you will.
I have things like this in my tribe.
Are you? Did Deishu just come down and kind of listen to the tail end of the story?
Yes.
Says, I hold up, say, soup, brother. Eat, regain your strength.
Thank you.
It's got meat in it.
Oh, very good.
Indeed.
Why did your
Like I
head
said,
yawn actually make me yawn just now?
Yeah.
I was thinking about it.
I'll look over at Zephylos and say, like I said, I'm very used to getting to work later in the morning than usual.
Right.
Does Bob eat the cabbage?
Oh yeah. He eats it graciously. He's looking a
Okay.
lot better today than he was yesterday.
Does he? Okay, awesome. I'll give him a few scratches behind the sheep ear, and go back inside to reconvene with the boys to continue the talk about our plans.
I mean, all that's really left to do is go talk to the clerk. Now, did we? I can't remember. Did we bring any proof with us? I think we have the diary.
Yeah, we
I
have his
have the
diary.
skull of a vampire, if that helps.
You have the skull?
I have a skull of a vampire.
Perfect. That's what I was. I
You
thought
took
someone
his
the head.
head? Oh man.
No,
Yeah, I know
not
someone
his
took
head.
the head.
We found a skeleton in the coffins, and you said it was Vampyrium.
Yeah, you got a different vampire's skull. Yeah, okay.
They don't
I
know.
remember.
If I showed them any skull that looked
That's
like a vampire, they'd be like,
that's
yeah, sure.
Probably
They'd be like,
true.
"What the fuck is that? Look at the teeth."
They'd be
on that
like,
thing."
holy crap, look at his teeth.
Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah.
they'll be like, holy crap, you ripped his skull out?
And cleaned it really nicely.
I was telling them magic on it. Alright, yeah, so I'll show the boys out of my it would be dangling, so like it would have been attached at my hip to like a leather lanyard type thing. So I would hold it up and show it to them.
The
To say,
random other people in the inn,
Don't
of
you have a
which there are
corpse
only
of
like
someone who was taken? You've been carrying it in your quills or whatever? Don't you have a
is
corpse of
that
someone
guy
who was
still
taken?
attached to me? Wait a minute. Is the corpse
No.
still attached to my quills?
What
No,
happened to
I
that?
think I would have had the common sense to tell you to put
I
that
don't
down.
I'm
think
sure
so,
on the
no.
way back home, one of you guys would
As
be like,
soon
all
as
right,
you would have
take
seen
that
like
thing off.
literally one person, someone would have probably screamed.
Yeah, no, 100%.
Yeah.
I wasn't a fan when he did it at all.
No, that I don't think that's
I
a
was just
thing.
trying to carry him, man. I don't know.
Where did you end up putting it? We left him back there, didn't we?
You left him in the
Probably
hallway,
on the way home.
in the basement, or in the cage in the basement.
I feel
Sure,
like we would have.
his
We
body's
said. I
rotting
feel like we
somewhere.
said we were going to go back and get him. That's why we were leaving. I even reassured Dermo we were going to come back and get him. I feel like we would have. We just forgot as players.
Yeah, I mean, what were you gonna do with it?
Just that was going to be our proof. That was our proof. I thought.
Well, I was gonna,
Just a
originally
dead
I was
guy?
gonna bring it home to like
A
put
missing
him to
guy.
rest.
Yeah, we got a missing
Yeah,
guy
put
back.
him to rest and be like, we found someone.
Like, hey, we
Yeah,
went
yeah.
to where we were asked. We find
Okay.
what happened, and here's the diary of the
All
guy we
right.
killed.
So, how would you transport the body?
In his quills, unfortunately, till we got near the village.
You gonna like cover it or anything? You just can carry a dead person around.
It's not the worst thing he's
I mean,
probably had.
if people see me in general, I'm sure they're already screaming, let alone the dead person. I think that'd be like the easiest. Like, oh, that makes sense.
Well, the blanket that I lent him to keep Bob warm was covered in blood.
That's a good point. Yeah. I'll wear like a cloak over my back.
I mean, you're just assuming that I'm going to give it to you, but I'll use it to wrap up this dead body, and then we can carry him covered up like that.
That's probably a better
It's
idea.
pretty much ruined already. I took it back after you treated it like garbage.
Hey, I treated it like a tool. It's a tool.
It's a tool to keep you warm. I don't want to have to clean off other people's blood.
And I'm gonna wrap up the body. I imagine this is what's happening as we're doing it in the retroactively, kind of saying it. But I did want to go back and get the body. That was something that we were going to use.
Yeah, we would have brought the body because we needed to bring it back to be.
I just forgot about it as a player.
Yeah, that's fine. We can retcon that. You do indeed have the deceased body of a person who I think he was the more recent death.
Yeah, he looked fresher than the others, is what you said.
Yeah, I don't remember if I ever like characterized him as like
I
the
don't think you
most recent
did,
one, or
Well,
really.
I
Where
think
would we
the
have
rest
kept
of them
him
were like
overnight?
bones in the cages, and he was the only one that had skin kind of stuff. Still.
Okay.
Where would we have kept him overnight, though? Would he just be like laying on the floor in our?
It's Draynor Village, dude. People go missing all the time. They've seen a dead body. You leave him in the street out front.
Yeah,
Maybe not that. I
like
don't
leave
know.
it in a rolled up carpet, you know.
Put it near the
Cement
firewood
sheet
on the
over.
side of the inn. No one's gonna take a dead body.
You can share the
We go
stable
back and
Bob.
tell
Yeah,
him
it can
stole the
sit
dead
with
body.
Bob.
Yeah, if Bob
Probably
starts
more
eating it,
realistically. More
Yeah, we come
realistically,
back and
yeah,
Bob's
you
eating
might
him.
leave it with Bob.
Yeah.
Bob's
Well, I
good
mean,
wash
you don't know what the
teeth.
white rolled up towel looking thing is. Maybe it's just a bag of garbage. I don't know.
Right. With
I mean,
Bob.
I feel like if we knew we had a dead body with us when we went to the inn, we would have told the innkeeper we brought back one of Draynor's
Yeah,
missing people.
probably.
Or like a
It would've-
guard.
I feel
we
like
would've-
there's enough explanation
Yeah.
with what we've
You
done.
can't just
to
carry
get
a
away
dead
with it.
body into a village and not have a couple questions asked.
Right.
We would have had to explain that, but if we're retconning it, we'll say that Zephylos
It
would
doesn't.
know
Yeah,
how to
I
make it
feel like
sense.
they know what we're up to. They know
Yeah.
what we're going through.
Mhm.
They're
I mean,
cool
we
with
questioned a bunch of them trying to investigate missing
Right.
people, so bringing back a dead body might make sense.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I don't think after a honest explanation anybody would give you too much fuss.
Yeah, literally, somebody like, "Why are you carrying dead bodies?" We're like, "We're returning someone who
Because
went
we
missing."
literally
and they're like, "Oh,"
found
and I'm
the
like,
pe-
"Yeah, we
Yeah.
discovered why people went missing, and this is one of the bodies we found." They're like, "Oh," and that's the last question we'll get on that, guaranteed.
Mhm.
Yeah, they're like,
All right.
oh, okay, I'll mind my fucking business. I'm sorry.
Cool. Departing the inn during the morning. You guys are gonna head straight for the clerks.
Yes.
With your proof in the form of body of one of the missing people, journal of the vampire, and skull of a different vampire that you may or may not try to pass off as the one vampire's skull.
We also
That's
have
fair,
a Zamorakian book.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
from the
There's a book of Zamorakian scripture.
I was convinced to not tear it apart by being told that it
Yes.
might be worth money when we go to turn it.
I recall that. Okay, cool. You go back to the clerk's office, and Clark, the clerk, is indeed there.
Yeah, I am
This time.
like there as he gets to work, ready to go. Like
And
if
he, you catch him unlocking the door in the morning from the outside.
you,
know.
and I'll like have my finger pointed out at him from like a full
Huh?
arm length.
Oh, God.
This could declare
It's you. What?
you almost got me and my tribe killed, my friend.
What? Huh?
Your lack of information almost got us all killed.
Hold on. To be
I'm just-
fair, I'm sure he didn't know the details.
I'm
Blood-
just trying
blood's
to do
already
my
boiling.
job. What do you want from me?
This job was to send us to our deaths then, yes?
What? No.
And we talk about how much we get paid for this job after we tell you what happened. This is madness.
Come on. Come inside. Sit down.
Yeah,
Tell me
we're
what
making
happened.
a scene in the streets. I'll yell at him.
Okay.
I'll follow him.
Let's relax.
Gaslighting Clark the clerk.
Yeah, like two dads yelling like, let's go inside and yell because we're making a scene in the street.
All right. He gets you inside. He takes a minute to settle down, put his papers.
Arms crossed the
get
whole
his
time. Me
open
just
his
staring at him.
briefcase.
Yeah.
Eventually you guys settle down inside his tiny little office, little space there. And he says, "Well, tell me what you found."
You sent us into the abyss, essentially. We get up there, and there are undead creatures in the house.
Where? What house?
I'll yell at Cephalos with my hands, like trying to explain. The house to the north where we went! Cephalos!
So we followed the trail and leads. It led to Draynor Manor,
Oh,
and it was
Okay.
infested. Well, I mean, there's two of them, but there was undead presence there,
mm,
and it was these undead that were responsible for your missing people. Unfortunately, we couldn't find any survivors. In fact, we brought in and reported a body that we found, but it was some type of parasitic undead. Says like, he says it very vague because he doesn't want to like sound like a crazy person for saying vampire.
sure.
But like,
Um,
some weird undead is probably
there-
more reasonable.
There are probably legends about vampires, and superstitions about them, among other more well-known monsters and undead creatures. So if you were to tell somebody like, yeah, there was a vampire, they probably wouldn't like immediately think that you're crazy.
Okay. Well, if that's
Depending
the
on the
case,
person,
I'd be honest.
like, cause this is a universe where like skeletons like exist, so like vampires existing is like not that far-fetched relative to that.
Yeah.
Catch my drift?
No, that's fair. So yeah, I'll tell him straight up then. It was a vampire that was living there and feeding on the
Ooh.
people.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
Well,
And it almost fed on us. Not to mention all the other things wrong with the house when we got there. The chairs were attacking us. The armor on the
chairs?
stairs were attacking us. Trees were attacking us.
They were animated, yes, probably with magic.
Oh, I've never heard of that before.
Nearly killed me and part of my tribe, and I'll point to Cephalos.
There may have been some building code violations you may want to check out.
Oh, yeah, I don't think anyone has lived there, at least under the knowledge
Oh,
of...
well, someone's living there now, buddy. There's a guy on the top floor who's turning people into chickens. This whole thing for the gold pieces was not worth what you quoted us for.
He, upon that comment, he just, like, furrows his brow and, like, looks at Zephylos.
I could have been a 6-piece dinner, and you would not have been the wiser, my friend.
I reluctantly nod and say he's not lying.
Madness,
Turns
madness.
people
I'll
into
walk out into the
chickens?
street. I'll just literally walk out of the street with my hands in the air.
It's some type of
You're like a Middle Eastern dad.
I'm thinking right now I'm a mix between like an angry dad and like Kramer, like from Seinfeld.
It is some type
Everyone's
of
just kinda like-
polymorphing. Yes.
Like it's the first level barbarian, like me trying to figure out
gotta-
why I'm so angry, but
You
also
gotta
it's like
do
a
the-
funny angry.
You gotta narrate the Kramer entrance every time you go
Yeah,
through a door.
like
now.
I'm out. Hold on, I'm out in the street. Like, give me a second. I'll come back in.
They're like
with
girls
the,
when
with the
they're
leg
angry
in the
and they,
air,
like,
just like
take
hopping in
different
on
at it.
one leg with the door open, momentum. I love it.
Sorry, Danny, go ahead.
No,
What
he
were you saying?
says reluctantly because this is a hard one to explain. He says, yes, he's conducting some type of polymorphing experiment. It didn't seem magic in nature, but I've seen spells that replicate this. It's not far-fetched, I assure you.
I see.
And I'll come barging back in like Kramer would. And I say,
Well-
and tell me how regular commoners can find their way up to this manor, a place where a vampire lived. Or so we think it was a vampire, right?
It was a vampire.
Okay, whatever you say. How is it commoners can just make their way up there and be turned into chickens? It's ridiculous. And I'll storm back out with my hands in the air again.
He just gives this face that's like, I don't understand this either. And after a few moments, he like kind of regains his sort of control over his thoughts, I guess, and says, "Well, that is a fascinating story. Have you brought any kind of proof of what you're telling me?"
Show him the skull.
And the dead body, I guess I'll bring it in for
Dermo
that
will
side.
lift up the skull on his lanyard and gesture it towards. He'll untie it and gesture it and hand it towards Clark the clerk.
Yeah, I'll be right back. Actually, give me 5 minutes.
He takes a look at the skull, noting especially the teeth, and he's like, well, yeah, that would make sense. And then he said, "Oh, you said there was a body. Is it that?" And he points to the wrapped body that you guys someone is holding. Were
Yeah.
you guys holding it still? You guys care? You brought it with you, right?
Imagine, you know what? We would have put it in the chair, sitting up.
Oh my god.
Jesus.
Just in the wrapping, just like no. Yeah, I would be holding it in front of me, kind of like how you carry a person, you know.
What state is the body in? Is it still intact?
was relatively
could I pull the
intact,
blanket
right?
off the face to show him so he can kind of get an idea?
You
Yeah, so I'll
he
peel it
takes
back.
a look at the face of the dead body. He shuffles through some of his papers that he had and looks at a small slip, and then looks at the body and looks back at it again, looks at the body, and he gives a nod. Yep, I think that matches the description of one of our missing people here. That must be them. You can cover it again.
I'll recover it for him.
Well,
I'll just keep holding it, I guess.
I'd say that's proof enough, I suppose. Is there anything else that I should know, or anything else we need to discuss?
I'll turn to Zephaloos and look at him and see if he is willing to speak up about the books.
He doesn't really think the books are necessary per se, just because like it's redundancies. Like, yeah, the vampire is a Zamorakian cultist, sure. Who would have thunk, you know? But what he will bring up, he's like, as we said, the trees on the manor property are animated, whether or not supernaturally or through magic. So it's not safe for anyone to go near there. So please make it well known that, you know, this is not superstition. This is a real danger.
Very good. I think we may order some of the town guard to go and take another look at the manor to see if we can Were there other bodies there? Were there other remains
None that
that you
were
found?
in as good a condition as this one, but there were many skeletons.
Okay. We may send some of the village guard to investigate, or bring back some more of the remains if possible. But I will make a special note of that, so that they can be extra cautious.
Connell storm back in, Kramer style. He goes, double! I want double. I've done the math. For food, breaking it down with what my tribes have been told to me, I want double.
Look, sir. I'm just the person that keeps the papers and
You're the
signs the
person who
documents.
hires people, though.
I didn't assign the reward for this job.
But you
I'm
can
happy
double
to.
it.
No, I cannot. But you can try that argument with the person that you will meet in Varrock, who will be distributing the reward to you. I would personally say that this is beyond the original scope that this job probably had in mind.
Put it down on paper.
I will make a note of it in the letter that I give to you, to bring to Varrock.
Okay. I'm very angry, and all of a sudden I cannot
can
explain
see
why.
that. I can see that, sir.
Okay, Clark the clerk. Do you have an apothecary in the village?
A what?
A place, someone who mixes elixirs, potions, a brewmaster.
I'm not sure. Maybe you might try the market area.
And I'll storm back out.
Thank you, Clark.
Yes, I still have to write up this letter for you to take.
Could I lean down and whisper into Zephylos' ear?
Sure.
You can. I'll give you permission.
I'll lean over and just be like, where is this Varrock?
It's the northeast. It's the capital city of the country we're in.
How far is it?
Depends how quickly we're traveling.
Break out the rulers. Actually, let's see. If we went this way, that's 40 miles. And then like another 2, it's 42, 50, 70, something like 90 miles close to that, which is quite a bit. That's several days travel.
I go like 200 miles a day, so that's easy mode.
Heh.
Oh, I drive for a living.
Unfortunately, you don't have a car.
What? You're telling me I don't have a
Or
Prius
gas.
on hand?
No.
Sorry, how long would it take to get to Varrock?
Oh man.
I didn't hear it if you said it.
Yeah, it's fine. 4 miles plus 40, that's 44. Let's see, it's 50 miles to Lumbridge. And normal pace walking is 24 miles a day. And then from Lumbridge to Varrock, we get 4 and 8, that's 12. And 18 is 30. And 22 is 52. So yeah, each of the towns are about 50 miles apart, so it's about 4 or 5 days.
That's not so bad. I mean,
Actually, isn't.
I'm gonna storm back in one more time. It says, "How do I even feed myself to get Varrock to get paid? I do not have food."
I have a small amount of the payment that I can give you guys, which will be enough to pay for any food or lodging that you need in the meantime.
I'll take it and I'll hand it to Zephylos.
He pulls out a pouch full of not really that many coins, and he counts out Oh, I don't know how much would be a bit.
He gives us like
I'm
5
just pulling
copper.
this. I'm just pulling this number out of my butt because I didn't actually think of this till earlier. But he pulls out 20 gold pieces and gives it to you guys.
Thank you. And again, I appreciate the help, Clark.
Sure. Let me write up this letter now. And he takes out a quill pen and a piece of parchment and starts writing. And it takes him a couple minutes. But when he finishes, he folds it up. He seals it with a special wax seal, and then hands it over. He then gives you some instructions that I'm not going to do in dialogue, as to a particular person that you have to meet with at Varrock, and how you should go about meeting with him, or getting that meeting with him, and that kind of stuff, so that you can basically show up outside the palace and ask to see so and so, showing them this letter, and then they'll let you in.
Did he make a note in there about how it was more than what we originally signed on for?
The notice is sealed shut, so you don't have the opportunity
he
to
was
read it
going.
unless you like literally just peek over his shoulder.
I wouldn't have been able to do that, but I mean, he said he was going to, so we can infer that he did, right? No reason not.
Yeah, you would think that he would do it because he said he would, and he doesn't
I,
really.
I will come all the way out here.
He
and
doesn't
kick his
have
ass.
any motive to not do it.
I have every motive to make sure he does.
Hey, Mr. Clark. Hello.
Mm-hmm.
What should I do with this body?
Yes. I will have someone brought over here to double check the identification of the body, and then have it dealt with. Don't worry about it. You can leave it outside.
Okay. I will go outside and lay it gingerly in front of the building.
Can you? Are you too big to do anything gingerly?
As gingerly as a 600-pound beast can. It's like a whole pound of ginger, enough to make you kind of do that little scrunch face.
Alrighty. With that, Clark will have thanked you one more time and then kind of shooed you out of his office.
Dermo will walk back over to the inn to collect Bob.
Oh yeah, Bob exists.
Bob does exist, and I will never forget.
Are we keeping him with us now?
I am not like Laura, okay? I remember I have animals.
Like who?
Yeah, so I will grab Bob and grab another cabbage for the road, and meet back up with the boys out front of the office, because I went out before he finished giving the entire explanation to put the body out there. And yeah, so I return with Bob and a head of cabbage hanging from my lanyard. Oh, I would have left the skull on his desk. So I would have been gone before he had time to be like, hey, take this out or do something with it, so.
He may actually hold on to it for evidence purposes.
Yeah, that or just to be badass. I mean, having a vampire skull on your desk as a Clark? Come on.
Alrighty, what do? Also, let me see if I can get the bot to like actually do something again.
I will check with Cephalos about when we should leave to go to Varrock.
Well, as soon as possible, really. It's, you know, a good amount of time of travel, and I'd rather get started on it as quickly as possible. Because the sooner we collect our money, the sooner we can move on to other things.
Would it be worth it for us to hire a carriage
Perhaps, if we
for
can make it to
transportation?
Lumbridge. Hmm? Sorry, what was your last half of your question?
Oh no, you had started talking. I said for transportation to finish my sentence. As you were already talking.
Yeah, sorry,
Sorry.
you cut out for me. I didn't mean to overtalk. But yeah, Zephylos says, if we can make it to Lumbridge, perhaps, since it is, of course, the agricultural center of Misselin, maybe we can catch a carriage northbound from it and arrive in Varrock. I'll bring out my map just to demonstrate what we're dealing with, and I'd show them that ultimately we want to go up here, but there's a massive fucking river in the way, and we could go north, but I don't really care to deal with the Gunner's Grund right now. Miss Lumbridge is
Right.
probably the better route.
Oh, also, if you were wondering, this black dotted line is not a road.
Yeah, it's the border.
It's
Right.
a border of the kingdoms. Just to be clear.
Yeah, the lower the profile, the better.
Would it be faster to go through Draynor? Or is it faster to go
Eh?
to Lumbridge and up?
What you mean go through Draynor? You're in Draynor.
Sorry,
I think
go
he
through
means past
Falador?
Draynor Manor up north.
Oh, honestly, I
Probably
don't know.
definitely be faster
But
to head east and up.
if we went straight north past the manor, we could go across the corner of Gunner's Ground. But I think Zephylos had stated that he'd rather not go to Gunner's Ground, which would make me hesitant to, try against his better judgment.
Yeah, Zephylos will justify himself. He says the people of Gunner's Grund live a very different life than the rest of Misselin. They hold on to older traditions and are isolationists.
Yeah,
So
pretty
it's
good.
best to leave them to their peace unless we have business with them.
If that seems fair to me.
Of where?
Barbarian
Gunner's Grund.
Village.
But yeah,
Oh, yeah, I got you. Barbarian Village.
Yeah, it's the correct name for it.
I would have no reference for what that is.
The Brabian Village.
Yeah, no, I mean, Khan wouldn't know what a Barbarian Village was.
No, right, yeah, even if you are one.
yeah, no, because Zephylos just have a map. Jesus Christ.
Damn, you got me there.
Yeah.
Oh.
Zephylos just has the map open, and he was asking, "Why don't we just go this way?" And Zephylos is like,
Yeah,
"No,
could you
let's
imagine
not."
we get up there and he's like, wait, you guys feel the same rage as me? He leaves us to join their village.
Yeah, Khan's
Just
having a bit of
smashing kills.
identity crisis right now, trying to figure out what he's becoming.
What?
Yeah, no, I'll totally agree with going through Lumbridge and trying to catch a carriage north. Just to stay out of the public eye, since we have 3 people in our group who aren't really traditional. And from the people I met up in Falador, they can be quite judgmental at first.
Or one more time, my thing's cutting out.
Oh, I was saying the people I met up in Falador in my time up there were a bit more judgmental of our differences, so I would agree that going the lower profile route would be preferred.
Sorry, it's cutting out so bad. One more time.
I could hear him fine.
Yeah, I
No,
can
I
hear
think
him
it's on
fine.
my end.
I think it's just you, my guy.
Right.
Yes.
So watch the replay on youtube.com/DragonsAid.
youtube.com/user/
lowercase u, uppercase h, number 3, number 4, hyphen, lowercase z, uppercase y. You want me? I could read the whole URL if you want.
Log.
I mean, that might help for all of our audio-only listeners. The people who are already
and
on
get,
the show.
Someone's gonna plug that in and get rickrolled.
Jeez.
It's just gonna happen.
But yes, sorry, August. It's clear now. One more time.
Okay. From my time up in Palador,
Yes.
the people that I met were very judgmental of people with differences. And so 3 of our party being very different would not go unnoticed.
There we go. Yes. I do not associate with Asgarnia. I am a Mytholite, true and true. So, I have no intention on going to another country just to detour. That might not even be worth the travel. So I agree. There's no point in going there.
I agree. There's no point in going there.
Right.
I agree.
Yeah, we all.
We're gonna do like the Hunger Games, standing up and do the 3 ring fingers.
I agree. There's no point in going there. Alrighty.
All right. The GM said it. We have to go there, guys.
It's law. It's written law.
Good thing too, because I didn't even think that you guys would go that way. Definitely.
Yeah, get
did
ready.
not prepare any optional content for Valador.
Thank God that he he put little hints that made us want to go to Lumbridge. That way he didn't have to make up. Yeah, your subtle usage of verbs and words led to brainwashing.
Oh, yes. I know thieves can't. That's how I was able to do that.
Yeah, thieves can't this. Thieves can't. What can a thief do?
Go to Lumbridge.
Yeah, so we're gonna go to Lumbridge. I recommend it as a group.
That's where the Thieves Guild is.
Yeah. Oh, wait a minute. Big
what
brain.
are you talking about, DM?
Big brain.
Wait, maybe that's the whole thing though. Thieves can't go there because it's already kind of taken over.
Maybe that's what they tell everyone, and that's where all the thieves go anyway, is to let people think that. There's thieves in Lumbridge.
There's no war in Bossing, say.
Take that back.
You are now banned from Pyongyang.
Rest in peace, Lieutenant.
All right, so it is still morning, so I assume you would head out, unless anybody else has any extraneous business in Draynor.
Okay,
yes.
I want to test something on our way. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
After we've left the city walls, like after we've left the city ground, okay.
Mm-hmm.
I want to put Bob down and see if he follows us without me carrying him.
I mean, he'd probably be interested in following you around because you've been feeding him and stuff. So, yeah.
Okay. I will let I'll keep an eye.
I would imagine that, like, right now he'll still, like, maybe wander off occasionally. Because you did just meet the sheep yesterday. But you are the guy that gives him food right now.
Right. I have a habit, so you listen to me.
The cabbage made specifically for Cusco.
The cabbage for Cusco. Cusco's cabbage.
Cusco's cabbage.
Jesus.
We have fun here, guys. We don't play much D&D, but we have fun.
Yep. That is correct.
Look, no one joins the stream to listen to D&D.
You're right. No one joins.
No one joins the stream. Correct.
Correct.
Except Ray.
All right, we don't do it for them. We do it to have fun.
Well, in just a few weeks, we're gonna have millions of viewers, so it's all right.
For sure.
It's all about marketing. You gotta market us, man. You gotta start getting ads on Twitch, and you gotta start, you gotta start paying for the premium feature things on Snapchat and all that.
Oh yeah, that's definitely something that is a valuable use of my time and money right now.
You gotta. It's the law.
For our
Alright,
D&D session,
so-
that's 1/4 D&D.
Let's let us head out of Draynor and over toward Lumbridge. Let's see. How far can
We
you
would
get
stick
in a
to the
day?
road, I'm
4
sure.
miles. Are you traveling at a normal walking pace?
Yeah, I guess a normal.
Okay.
Yeah, I would assume.
I imagine you're not like running.
We're not hauling it, no.
Full run for like 8
Yeah,
hours.
we full force went with a baby sheep with us.
With the sheep. I never said it was a baby sheep. It's just a sheep.
I didn't
Everything's
either.
a baby to Dermo. Have you seen how big he is?
Okay, true. So
Everything is a baby.
in I don't have a token for you guys. Wait, I know.
You have the death token. What are you talking about?
Yeah, there's a
I
party
have
token.
the sheep.
Party token, that's just death icon.
Yeah, but that doesn't suit this campaign.
Well, I didn't make the icons. I'm just telling you there is one. You said I
I
don't
could
have
make it a chicken
You should make yourself a chicken there, Captain.
because of Earnest the chicken.
Yeah, don't make us a chicken.
No chicken.
I'll cry.
We could be a flaming sphere
That's way cooler.
or
Oh,
a
yeah.
mage hand that's animated, or the owl, or death.
Yeah, owl. Dude, team owl.
Vote now.
Team
You guys
owl
want to be owl?
on it. Owl.
Go.
Owl.
Yeah.
Okay, I hear several people saying owl. Oh, it's so small though.
There's 2 of us.
Hang on, I gotta make an extra big owl.
Yeah, make it extra big.
Duplicate. Let me put it down here.
Put it down. Make it extra big. Put it down.
Oh my god. Party token.
These are my devices.
And then let's make it medium.
Make
with
it medium.
extra cheese.
A number
Wait,
9.
why is it like not as big as the spaces on the grid?
Cold out, okay? Give me a second. It'll get bigger. It's just cold out.
Why is it not as big as the grid? What's going on here? What if I put this guy here? Yeah, what the heck? Oh, I wonder if I like purposely made this smaller or something. But why would I do that? I don't know. You guys can deal with a slightly smaller token than it should be for the owl. Okay.
I refuse.
Let's
Ruins
see.
my
So we're
heart.
here. We go 4 and 20. So like there. Can make it to here for 1 day's travel. So you exit the Draynor area past its many farms and things. I can actually play the music now again. There we go. And in sort of this region over here, you kind of have reached the edge of the farms that are closest to Draynor. There's a bit of open sort of untamed wilderness, only for a short while until about here, when you reach the farms that are closer to Lumbridge, quote unquote, closer, which are pretty similar. They're not really that much different. Maybe you might see a couple more nicer buildings for these farmhouses, maybe a bit more brick and a bit less wood here and there. Not all of them though. And yeah, you make it past a couple farms. It's a bit more heavily wooded, close to the road, around where you end up feeling like you are too tired to continue traveling for the day and are finding a place to stop, kind of in between the land that is occupied by 2 farms in a wooded area.
Yeah, I want to start setting up camp. Once we've established that, I'm gonna set my gear down and find a good rushy area under a tree and set up a line and put a one of my tarps over it and have a makeshift tent. Get a hearth area located, that kind of stuff, Basic camping stuff for the night.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll be doing it a little more angry, if you don't mind.
Everything's
things
just
down.
angry now.
Just for today, yeah. Until I got a means to level it out once we get to Varrock. I'm just confused and angry and not sure why. As I'm learning what it is to be a barbarian.
Makes sense. Anybody have any particular things to do, or should we breeze by?
I think we can pretty much breeze through the travel process.
As we eat dinner and
in,
stuff.
This area of the
Me
world
trying
is
to see-
pretty peaceful, so it'd be unlikely to be attacked either on the road or while you're sleeping, except maybe by a hungry raccoon or something. That's kind of the understanding that oh god, I guess just Zephylos would have of this area.
No.
I mean, I'm pretty familiar with living outside, so
Yes.
you'll hear me kind of casually talking to Daishu while we eat before bed. About I'll just hold out a ball bearing, and you'll see us kind of talking about a ball bearing.
Many
Nothing
nods.
in
and
particular, just kind of discussing
It's
the weight,
round.
properties. Yeah, exactly. It's round.
Wow.
The weight of it, the material it's made of. Like you'll see me kind of toss it in the air in my hand, and kind of get a feel for the ball bearing. But yeah, nothing I want to do other than kind of just that kind of stuff, casual talking with the party.
Yeah, Zephylos is just keeping to himself, studying his books and such.
Yeah.
This is
Not-
his farmland.
Tom does take a note that Zephylos is keeping to himself.
When I'm not
Right.
talking to Khan, I'm tinkering with my armor more, both magically and mechanically.
Yeah, I figured we would just chat.
Dermo is herding sheep.
Hurting them or hurting them?
Like hurting him with your
I mean,
hands, or like hurting him with your hands?
yes, I'm herding him.
Okay, I got you. Just to be clear, you mean like hurting, like as in you're hurting the sheep, right?
Yes,
And not hurting like you're hurting the sheep.
correct.
Okay,
Bruh.
cool. Just want to make sure.
God, I love being from the East Coast, and all these words are completely androgynous. Just like, a pen and a pen are the same word.
Yeah.
Oh, could
Yeah.
I fasten a leash for him, potentially? Like a form of like a leash?
Yeah, probably.
Like, would I know about like leashing animals?
Animal husbandry? You mean?
I don't see why not.
Not to get into the wifing your sheep again, but the animal husbandry is what it's called.
Yeah, that's the actual terminology for it, but also, haha.
Yeah, it was a double entendre.
At this point, it might even be a triple entendre.
Oh, dare we? Dare we dip into the trip?
But yeah,
Is-
I'll maintain like conversation with what's it called? Daisho and Khan on the way if they would be open to talking while
Yeah, for sure. Nothing else to do while we're worth kicking rocks and bullshit.
Khan.
Well, I mean, maybe sometimes if that's the way you swing. But... Yeah, what do you want to talk about on the way there? Anything in particular? Or casual talking.
yeah, like what transpired, going over like, you know, the oddities of this universe and being an outcast or being not from this area, and just how different it is from our home planets. Maybe discussing slight bits about culture and stuff like that and how different it is.
Yeah, I would be jotting down different notes about the different worlds and stuff. Nothing too crazy. I would just kind of explain the tribal basic
little
setup.
things,
Yeah, little stuff of. I mean, what is the planet of the Garaho? Daemonheim, right? Like that's. Daemonheim is what kind of a access to
Daemonheim
come from
was opened by Bilrak, right? It's like
They
a
come
portal
from the
From the
spirit
spirit
plane?
world. Yeah.
They
It's
come from the
it's
spirit
connected
world.
to the spirit world, right? Like Daemonheim is part of where the Garaho are from.
No,
I
so
no.
just
I
the-
think
Or
it's
it's
just
the
they've
portal that
opened a
connects that
portal.
world. Okay.
Because
Bilrak
Bilrak
opened a
summoned
portal
stuff.
to the spirit
Yeah.
world.
Yeah, I got you. There's just not a lot of like total lore on the Garaho. That's the problem.
Yeah.
But they're such an interesting group of people. It's just fun to
Yeah.
just make up some
Hopefully
stuff.
we will. Anyway.
Hey, if it makes you feel any better, all of the lore for the Mazcab creatures and stuff is one paragraph.
Fair.
If it isn't talking about Tuska, it is not talking.
It does not exist. Okay, so after a uneventful night, you awake the next morning and continue your travels through the wooded farm areas. And you can just about make it to the town of Lumbridge by the time you are getting tired once again of traveling.
Do we
make
notice
it there
any
by early evening.
any inns like on the horizon when we're coming in?
There is probably there's probably one close to where you enter the town, on the north side of the town here.
I could use a drink. And I'll point to the tavern in the distance.
Does it look like a good place, or does it look run down, kind of like how Draynor was? Does it seem like more awake?
Yeah, does it seem woke,
So,
DM? Lumbridge
is
woke AF?
woke.
Liberal
Is
propaganda of this
Lumbridge
town.
woke AF?
So Lumbridge is a significantly nicer looking town than Draynor. There's a lot fewer of these rundown sort of buildings, kind of just beyond the edge of poverty, like you saw quite a few of in Draynor. The houses in general, more of them are going to be having things like bricks and shingles instead of being made of timbers and thatch. Not all of them, though. There are still crummier houses here and there, of course, especially on sort of the outskirts of the town. But there are more nicely paved paths, better walls surrounding the town. Overall, just a little bit nicer looking. It's also significantly larger, probably at least like 3 or 4 times the size of Draynor. Probably closer to a lot bigger than that, actually. Nearby the entrance is the Sheared Ram, which is the one of the local inns.
Okay, well, let's get a room here for the night. This is just a pit stop along the way.
There's a pit here?
There's a
just-
pit to keep your animals, yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I would find Bob a nice, comfy, what do you call it? Pen for the night.
I'm actually wondering how many inns would have like a stable if there aren't horses.
Well, Lumbridge has
Unicorns are
farmland
used in the same
nearby.
fashion as horses, I'd imagine.
But like, how many people are traveling and staying at an inn with like?
I would
I guess
imagine
people that transport the animals themselves
Okay, but here's the
need
thing.
a place to
I'm
keep them.
paying him. Let me bring my fucking sheep. He's
Is it a
house trained,
service
I
sheep?
promise. Yeah. He wears
It's
like a little.
service sheep. I told yeah,
He
we
has like
told
a
you
little jack
Lumbridge
on
is
his
woke.
chest. Do not.
Service sheep are fine. No, probably they would actually have a stable. That makes sense for like people that are transporting animals. I guess they would need somewhere to keep them, right?
I would say
so
yeah.
sure. Similar kind of thing as in Draynor, but it's a lot bigger. So the rooms at this inn are once again 5 silver. This place being a bit bigger of a town, having a larger number of guests come through, and having a significantly larger inn, has private rooms as like this sort of standard thing instead of like a big group
private
room.
rooms.
Although they are pretty cramped. It's just about enough room for the bed, maybe a window, and like a chair, and that's pretty much it. They also have that is your modest room. They also have the comfortable room, which is 8 silver coins instead of 5, which has better bedding, a bit more space, and a nice window and a cushioned seat.
Would what do you call it? Would the regular room accommodate my size, or would I need to get the bigger room for my size?
You would be able to fit. It'd be fine.
I mean, you're a medium-sized creature, right?
Yeah, you're still.
I am medium, yeah.
You'd fit
For,
anywhere medium you can for
yeah.
those purposes.
For all
Okay.
mechanical purposes, yeah, your size isn't really going to affect anything that you do. Only for flavor. We could say for flavor, Dermo will like check out the regular room, be like, ooh, it's so tight, and then like go back and get the bigger room because he wants to, but he would never have to.
Yeah.
Okay.
Also, who's
if
the
I can
owl
fit
that
this
said
wallet.
BRB and then back?
Oh, it's me. Sorry, I had to step away for a second.
We're all the owl in this.
Also, I
joyous
should
part.
probably remove the permissions for the owl.
Yeah,
Because
just give it to Zephylos only.
it will be easier to track its movement that way. If you guys aren't able to move it.
I mean, it's not even our owl, but I can still access it, so that's not really fair in my opinion.
Configure
If
permissions.
Zephylos, wants to give us permission to access it, then that's different. But
Oh, I just did that in case anybody else ends up somehow getting a familiar or something. Alright, there we go. Well, anything of much interest in doing in this town before heading out?
Does it seem like a town that has anything of interest?
It is a much more bustling town than Draynor, that's for sure. There's definitely a big market here.
is there a
relative
church?
to the teeny village. There's also, you can see, because it is one of the tallest buildings in the town, a decent-sized Church of Saradomin here.
Yeah, I would like to visit that.
Alrighty.
They
You
should-
have plenty of time to kill because you literally just traveled from morning. So it's still light out after you guys have arrived. And there's still time to check out the town before it starts to go to sleep.
Yeah, like on the walk-in this morning, I'll talk to Zephylos a little bit. I know he mentioned something about his god Zeros, and I'll be kind of picking his brain about the different gods, which is kind of, in a way, Deishu's original purpose with me. Like, we're exploring this area to uncover new gods, and And I'll kind of explain part of that to Zephylos, like picking his brain about Zaros.
Yeah, and so he never actually mentions Zeros by his proper name. He says,
Yeah, he called him the Dark Lord.
I
I'll say
spoke
what-
of the Empty Lord. Yes.
the Empty
Lord.
Many don't know of the Empty Lord. Most who are scholarly will simply refer to him as a dead god because he is one. He's no longer here.
And why do you worship him?
Well, gods are metaphysical, and I've received visions of his greatness. I don't think he's alive, but his presence is still felt. If that makes sense.
I understand this completely. Some of the gods in our world used to dwell among us, and now they are in the stars, if you will.
Right.
They're with us, they're not with us.
Many, if I was open about my religion, would consider me perhaps a fool for worshipping a god that isn't really relevant, considering there are other gods that are more active. Like Saradomin is the main patron of the humans of these lands. And Guthix, the god of balance, are the two main ones.
And of course, this foul Zamorak we see everywhere, mucking about.
Yes, but his presence is less felt.
I'm glad.
Yes. No.
He is the only reason that me and Deshu are here to begin with. Him and this foul Bilrak.
Sorry, I don't
Nods
know who that
fervently.
is.
We do not have a god where I'm from.
But you have them now?
None that I follow, but yes, there are gods around me now.
I have felt less of a connection with my gods since showing up to this world. However, I do still know they exist.
Yes, maybe one day I will find allegiance to one.
Or many. Who says you have to pick just one?
Usually the gods say you have to pick just one.
This world is much more complicated than my world. I will
Yes.
learn.
Many of them are jealous.
It is a distasteful trait among a god.
Well, it's they want soul allegiance for the most part. A lot of the gods I know of.
Where in my tribe we worship all the gods.
Yes, how can you worship the moon but not the sun? This is silly to me.
There's a lot of politics and history about that. The gods used to fight long
Interesting.
ago.
Do they still fight?
They've been put on timeout. They're all put in different corners of the universe.
Who
So
puts
no, they
a
don't
god
fight.
in timeout?
A bigger god.
Ah, your god has hierarchy. There is hegemonic devices in play for even your gods.
Well, again, that's a little bit of a complicated subject to tackle, but Guthix, the god of balance, as the story goes, ended the god war by making it so that no gods can walk amongst these lands.
Interesting.
Yes.
Yep. I mean, we got time on the way in, I figure. Still probably a couple hours walking to Lumbridge. And now I have a reason to check out the church when we get there.
Yeah.
Alright.
Shall we do that now?
Yeah, check out that church, boy.
Hey yo, check out that stained glass.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Long robes.
Check out those buttresses.
Nice
Oh,
buttress.
you know I'm checking out them buttresses.
Hey, I bet you support load-bearing roof, huh? I bet you support that, huh, girl? Nice buttress. Oh shit, that's gothic. That buttress is gothic as fuck.
They say you got a church.
So, the church, like I mentioned, is one of the tallest buildings in the town. It's not like huge, but there's not that many tall buildings in this town. Most of them are only 2 floors. This one looks like it goes to like 3 to 4, depending on what you count as a floor. So it's fairly tall. It's made of a nice sort of bright whitish grayish stone, and is decorated on its side with stained glass windows. Yeah. The doors are held open, the large double doors at the front of the church. To the side of the church, there seems to be a sizable graveyard. This is at the southern end of the town. Yeah.
Yeah, I would like to go through the double doors inside of the church.
You head inside, and it is not super busy right now. There's not like a service going on, but there's a few people sitting around. Some on the pews, some standing about or walking around. Not too busy. There is a priest who is sitting near the back, or would it be the front? Near where there is the a large altar covered in white linens and some gold candlesticks and the works. He's sitting near there, working on some paperwork. It seems.
He doesn't seem engaged in anything besides the paperwork?
No, he's fairly focused. He doesn't look up when you enter.
I won't bother him then. I'll look around the church and kind of get a sense of a worshiping facility in this world. I've seen a couple. I saw one in Edgeville. So, I mean, how does this one chalk up compared to the monastery in Edgeville? That one's also Saradominus too.
Oh, you would have seen that one. That one would probably be like bigger, but not as nice.
Yeah, that would have been one of the first things we saw coming out of Forin 3. That's like our.
That one would be pretty large because there's like a decent number of monks that like actually live there and they do their whole thing there.
But that one's Saradomus as well. So seeing this one, yep. I would have a reference for.
Yeah, it's certainly reminiscent, okay. But this one is
less ornate.
It's more fancy. This one is.
This one's more fancy than the Edgeville one, but it's smaller.
I would say so.
Okay. Yeah, I'll kind of just tell that to Deshu that I'm making those kind of notes. It'll be like, it's smaller, but it's much nicer.
Yes. Yeah.
I'll like put my hand up on one of the like pillars in the church and kind of feel the hewn rock.
Would I have ever seen a church?
Oh boy.
Came from Falador, right? Isn't that whole place a church?
Where
I wasn't in Falador.
Isn't that whole
place
Falador? He's not
yeah,
wrong.
I was on the outskirts. No, I was on the outskirts of Falador, so I don't think I would have been where there's like massive churches.
I don't know. There might have been like a tiny church, like a little chapel in Draynor that you passed by, but it wouldn't have been anything like this one.
Right.
It would have basically just been like a little wooden house with like a crummy altar.
Help me here. Would we have churches in Mazcab to like?
Dude.
I would assume.
Do the Gobies even have religion? Do they worship any gods? I don't think they do.
Yeah, as far as I know, they don't.
So probably this is pretty foreign.
Yeah, okay. The idea of praying to me would be pretty foreign, yeah.
I mean, you would have heard about it from Zephylos, probably. Because they were just having a talk about religion.
Yeah, no. I would have been listening in and giving my portion on that. But seeing a church and stuff on the inside would definitely be like a culture shock.
Probably.
I'll spend my time kind of like looking around and like soaking it in while following them around.
With the group of you kind of meandering about the church and just absorbing the sights of it, eventually the priest would probably glance upward and see these interesting creatures and Zephylos walking around.
One way to identify us, yeah.
Yes, interesting creatures and Zephylos.
You don't think Isdaphalos is pretty interesting?
True. It depends on whether or not he disables his blood helmet.
He's not wearing it by default.
Okay. Do you have the armor in general or no?
Nope, I just wear
No,
like
okay,
gray
you're
and
just-
purple robes.
okay,
You know, I
you're
look
just-
generic wizard.
You just look like a regular wizard. Okay. That probably helps. He sees you guys enter and he like sits up kind of straight and like sits back a little bit and he's like glancing around to like see if like he looks worried. But after a couple seconds he like calms down. He kind of makes this realization. He's like, okay, maybe these people aren't dangerous even though they look really scary.
He called us people in his head.
He did. And he's like, well, he in his, you kind of see on his face, he's like, well, I guess this is fine. But yeah, he doesn't say anything just yet, but he looks at you for a couple seconds.
I look at him for a couple seconds when he's looking at us. Do our eyes meet?
Your eyes meet. The elderly man finally greets you. Welcome.
And what am I being welcomed to, my friend? Where am I?
This is the Holy Church of Saradomin.
Yeah.
The church here in Lumbridge. I don't recognize you. Are you travelers new to Lumbridge?
I am indeed. I am from Edgeville.
Oh yes.
Explain why I look quite different from you.
Maybe.
I've been to Edgeville recently.
Daisha looks incredibly confused.
Yeah.
Why? Yes, I was ordained at the monastery there.
Well, maybe you would have seen a couple people like me walking around.
I can't say that I have.
Daisha looks so confused right now.
We were there maybe a moon or two ago.
It's been years for me.
Ah, I see. That may be where the confusion is from.
Yeah,
So
so much can change in a couple of years. So Zephylos, not quite trying to sell it, but you know, kind of like watching this go down.
I mean, I'm not from anywhere here, but that's the only place I've been from was Edgeville, which is the first place I was, like besides you.
Have you come seeking Saradomin's guidance?
I have come seeking Saradomin information.
Go on.
And I'll look over at Daishu and I'll say, my brother and I have quite a few questions about the Saradomin. We are learning quite a great deal about.
Very good. I'm happy to answer any of your questions.
What does he stand for? What are his, I guess, explain him to me as if I were a newborn child.
Well, sure. Why, Saradomin is the light that guides us with his great wisdom through the many struggles and parts of our lives. He provides us with the wisdom that we need to confront our challenges and make the best of our better situations in life. He goes on about some more long-winded sayings and a description of him. The overall sort of flavor of this god is wisdom and light and good sort of prevailing over evil and other challenges.
Yeah, I mean, kind of meta here. I'm pretty sure he's like the law and order god, right?
He's like the. I mean,
Or is
he's like.
that Armadillo? No,
He's
Armadillo-
like. He's like.
Yeah.
He is basically just fantasy version of Christianity.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, and Zamrock's supposed to be like the devil or whatever.
Pretty kind of, yeah.
But
That's
I
his
mean,
own church, but
In like oversimplified
character,
terms,
like,
yes.
Yeah, oversimplified, of course. You need a good guy and a bad guy in Sarah. I mean, I
Like,
never liked Sarah.
Something that like a priest in real life could say, like a Christian priest could say. You'd swap the names around, and it would be like something that a Saradominus priest would say.
Yeah, but no, Saradomin believes in doing good for the sake of good.
for the yeah.
he doesn't necessarily do it, but we don't know that.
No,
You don't know
right,
that.
right.
That is meta information.
I like Sarah
Sure.
Doman. He doesn't afraid of nothing.
Yeah, Sarah doesn't afraid of nothing.
He doesn't afraid of nothing.
What a name, Sarah. And what his brother, Jessica.
And their brother Parker.
Yes.
Yes. But yeah, so yeah, no, Zephylos is just kind of watching. He's grown up with like the Saradominus religion, so he doesn't really have any questions. He's heard it all. He's gone to Sunday church, you know.
He's done his mass. He's done his time. Yeah, I guess.
Is there any stained glass in this church, or is it pretty standard walls?
There is a fairly large circular stained glass window behind on the wall behind the altar, which is in the shape of a four-pointed star, which is yellow, which is a shape that you are seeing on a lot of linens and carvings and other thing, and the robes of the priest in this church.
Okay.
Zephylos, of course, would recognize this symbol as the primary symbol of Saradomin. The three of you would probably be piecing that together through your observations of the church and your
the symbol is the symbol of Saradomin.
It's everywhere. Probably got that when we walked through the door. I probably got that when we walked into the monastery in Edgeville.
Yeah, you would have
strange.
definitely seen it in a lot of
This
places.
location
there
has
too.
a lot of stars. I wonder why.
He'll figure it out. I'll say to Deshu.
Yeah. Does how much of a like not off topic, but you know, just spiel does he go on? Does he go on for like a long time, or is this like just a kind
only
of
only like a minute or two he goes off on this tangent.
what a nice
Afterward
Christian.
he would say, "Oh, I'm Father Eric, by the way. You can speak to me anytime if you need some guidance."
I need healing. Yeah.
Okay, Genji. Were there any more questions that you had?
What is the quickest way to Varrock?
Different sort of question. But if you take the road north of the town and take the fork to the east, just a few miles out, cross the River Lum, and then turn north, that should take you to Varrock.
Do you have any cart services within your city?
Is that a thing that exists? I don't know.
It would
Would
make
it just
sense. 'Cause
see?
Lumbridge is like Lumbridge would be the port town where because if Varrock is the trade center of Gillinor, and is said to have goods coming in and out delivered through the River Lum, which means it all has to go through Lumbridge.
Yeah.
So at the very least, like a barge going up the river.
Oh, I never even thought of that.
Yeah. It would make sense.
Yeah, I guess so. I just never thought of carts because, well, you've got no horses, so they'd
You
have
have
to be...
unicorns are used in the same regard that horses are in RuneScape.
No, they're not.
A barge
There's,
would all,
there's work animals of some kind, whether they're mules, donkeys.
Yeah, it would
unicorns.
have to be donkeys.
a
Ox,
barge
then-
would probably be faster too.
Huh?
A barge would probably be faster too.
I mean, there's wild unicorns
Probably.
roaming around everywhere. I can't do a farm run without having a unicorn in my path. I'm just saying.
See, but I'm
horses-
pretty sure there's part of
see.
the lore of unicorns is that they were like not easy to tame, and so people didn't tame them.
That's fair.
That is
they
a good
are
point.
everywhere. They've got to
I
have a
didn't even-
work animal of some kind.
I don't know, but do you see work animals in Gielinor anywhere?
We know
Or
there's
are there
work
mentions of them?
We know there's work horses, or there were before they redacted it and changed the name of the NPCs to the horses. But we know that there's cart services from Brimhaven to Shiloh Village, stuff like
yeah.
that. So we know that
That
there's
would be that's
places.
a hand-drawn cart. I guess that could be
I mean,
a thing.
But the fact that there canonically is cart services, and that's the only one we have access to as
Right.
adventurers in our story in game.
Yeah.
And it's unlocked via doing whatever with Shiloh Village and doing that quest, right? So
right.
I would say that
Would that be a thing that they have on a city scale, though?
you got to import and export stuff. There's farms all over. That grain's got to get into town, and stuff's got to get out of town into those farms. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I guess there could be a cart system. I feel like it would. I feel like it would be like hand-drawn carts rather than like
I mean,
Probably
good
work
very
animals. Because
all
I feel
over.
I don't know.
out of means. I'm sure there's glider services with the gnomes that get shipped from A to B really quick. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh man.
it's up for you to figure out. I'm just saying that to say that there's no cart service would be kind of silly, because then you're thinking
Yeah.
they're teleporting everything, or they have some kind of means of doing that. 'Cause that's just
Right.
fundamental to
There's
having.
also it's not exactly uncommon to have oxen-drawn carts.
Yeah, I would say ox
Hmm.
would be a good one too.
That
Mule,
might be a good
donkey,
one.
ox, something like that.
There probably wouldn't be like an organized like this like a public transportation system, but there would be caravans of merchants going
Yeah.
back and forth. There would be farmers who like individually would have their own carts that they
Good
take
shit
to
for
market.
Varrock and stuff. Yeah,
And then
we could pay our way onto it.
there'd probably be multiple barges because that's how the majority of stuff would get to Varrock, because it's cheaper, quicker, and safer to transport goods that way.
I would
Makes
say that makes
sense.
yeah.
Probably,
All
yeah.
of
Then
this
a
because we're
boat
lazy.
would be the way to go. A boat up the river.
I mean, how can I yeet myself from the Grand Tree all the way the fuck over there to Alcarid glider, but I can't take a cart from Lumbridge to Varrock?
Hmm.
Yeah, but we're rock stars in the video games.
I mean, we're living it right now, my man. We just took out Draynor, so
You guys just got 20 gold.
yeah, we're
That's a
living
lot of
We'll
money.
just pay people to take us places that we want to go. We'll have them carry us.
it. I mean, hirelings are like a whole chapter in the Dungeon Master Guide, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
They must carry us and pamper us. They must tell us how pretty we are the entire time. We are beautiful. We are loved. We are kind.
We are also kind of angry about almost dying.
One of us is extremely angry about almost dying.
And one of us, that same one of us, is still also very confused as to why he's so angry about it.
It's like you're going through puberty. Like,
I'm a little hormonal right now, guys. My body's undergoing a lot. Don't look at me. You'll make me rage.
but yeah, other than that, other than Dr. Eric having to listen to us talk about unicorn and husbandry for 15 minutes, we would come to terms with the fact that we probably are not going to get what do you call it? Either if we're going to get a card or not right this minute.
Yeah, he would probably mention a barge,
Okay.
but wouldn't know a lot about it because he'd never taken it before.
Right.
Is there a place where these barges deliver their goods that might know?
Mm, I think, well, the river, let's see, it leads up near Edgeville, kind of in between Edgeville and Varrock, but it would be within a day's walk of the city, where it stops.
I can imagine there's probably some enterprising individuals who would have transportation from the barge stop to straight to Varrock, but
Perhaps.
that'd be a very easy way to make coin.
Yeah, I feel like that'd be a good people trying to nobles even trying to get from the capital town to Lumbridge or something. Not that to say that we're nobles, but there's got to be some kind of ferry service even to
Those who couldn't be bothered to walk.
Yeah, I mean, I can't see a merchant unless he's like carrying a cart full of goods. That seems dangerous to me, even. But like, I would rather take the river. I mean, knowing like from a meta standpoint, like knowing what I know, like as a noble or a merchant or something in Gillinor, you have the Champions Guild right there. Like, no one would want to jump. Maybe this area over here, Barbarian Village and Draynor Manor area, that might be a little dangerous stretch of the river. But I feel like overall, it's much more safe than going straight to Varrock from Lumbridge, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Like on foot. I don't know.
I
I don't know.
agree.
This isn't my world, so I'll let Zephylos decide pretty much.
Zephylos?
Yeah, he's the one who knows this area.
We're
Dragon
beginning
doesn't
to
get decide.
leave. We're beginning to leave my field of expertise. I'm a southerner, and we're heading north. But a barge wouldn't hurt. It'd be less strain if we're willing to pay the gold.
I do not want to waste all my gold that I just earned nearly dying to go up when I can use my feet, is what I'll say. How dangerous is it without the barge?
We're in farmland. I don't picture it being extremely dangerous.
Then we can walk, yes? What is a couple more days?
That's fair.
At this point, while you guys are chatting inside the church, a teenage boy runs into the front of the church, and he calls to the priest, Father Eric, there was a, he's panting, what is it? What's wrong? And then he continues, I saw a ghost in the graveyard. There was a ghost, and he made a weird noise, and then he disappeared. And the priest, he says, really, a ghost? Are you sure? And the kid nods.
I'm gonna say
It didn't hurt you, did you? Are you okay? He nods again.
There is a spirit in the graveyard.
Yeah, I just saw it. It was so creepy. It was like I could see. It was like a person, like a man, in sort of ragged clothes, with a hat, but I could see through him, and he was all white.
You disturbed his rest, young one.
And he made this weird noise, like woo, woo. Scared the crap out of me.
You disturbed his rest, young one. That's what happens.
I didn't do anything.
I do not think a spirit would want to haunt you unless you mess with it.
It's not gonna follow me, is it? He's like looking at the door.
I do not know how they work here in this planet, or this plane. They can follow you where I'm from. I wouldn't go back to a cemetery unless I had a good reason.
Okay. I'm gonna go home now.
That's probably a good idea.
He rushes out of the church.
I look at the priest and I say, well, I mean, you're the spiritual expert here. What do you think of a ghost?
I've never... I mean, I've heard tales of ghosts, but I've never seen one in a graveyard or near a church, let alone my very own.
It could have unfinished business, and that is why it lurks around where the original host was buried.
You may be right.
This is common where I am from. We have to find out who it was and why they are still here.
Yes. Perhaps you'd like to help me.
Sure.
I would be hesitant in approaching a ghost by myself. I have heard that some of them can be dangerous. And you seem to be able of body and spirit.
A soul not at rest is everyone's problem.
Yes. Exactly.
Just
Would you check it out for me, please?
I can. For GPs. I need to feed my mouth, you see, Father.
Of course.
And my dad, of course, and I'll point to Deishu. He says, they have mouths as well to feed. I would love to help.
How about this? The innkeeper owes me a favor. You said you were traveling, yes? I shall see to it that you get comfortable rooms at the inn.
And fresh food? Something with meat?
Of course.
Very good. This big one loves the meat, and I'll slap Dermo on the back.
I will look uncomfortable at both of those actions and statements.
And I'll kind of rub my hands together and I'll say, so, Father, let's find out why this ghost is haunting people.
Very
and
good.
Haunting children.
Be very careful.
Do you have any means of I don't know if you've dealt with spirits before. There is usually a totem or something to talk to them, or a means of communicating, smoking a pipe maybe?
Yes. Well, I have heard that it is not normally possible to speak with ghosts. But I know someone who knows how.
Oh? You know
why
a witch?
Not a witch. A fellow priest. A hermit of sorts. Why don't you see if the ghost even feels like talking?
Yes.
And then I will tell you more about this if you need to.
Maybe, Father, you can tell me a little about his resting place. Are all the bodies buried there local?
Yes, they're all from around here.
You seem kind of jotted it down.
I wonder if it is a ghost with unfinished business. You might try investigating some of the recent or ready to be buried remains.
Is there someone who is an expert in the burial arts here?
Yes, we have a keeper of the cemetery.
And where does he?
He's probably out working in the yard now.
And I'll kind of point out where the kid came from. I'm going to say, the cemetery is this way?
Yes, around the back.
I'll look over at Zephylos. I'm going to say, what do you think? Have you seen a ghost before on this plane?
No, I've never seen a ghost. But it wouldn't be the weirdest thing I've seen, so perhaps we should go investigate.
I mean, I'll nod and I'll say, we have seen some weird stuff this week alone.
Right.
And I'll say, thank you, Father. And I'll drop is the slot in the tithe box at the Saradomus Church big enough for a ball bearing?
Sure.
Yeah, you'll hear the thunk as it, obviously isn't a coin hitting the bottom.
And it, rolls a little bit. So
yeah, you hear it, it's, shifting as the coin's about to settle.
The Father Eric wasn't, looking at you when you put it in, so he just, he just looks over, and he's like, huh. He, gives a face that doesn't understand exactly what you did, but he's, makes a face that's like, oh, that was a weird sound.
I mean, it still
doesn't quite understand what happened.
It's just not a coin hitting. It was too heavy to be a coin. And I'll head out the door towards the cemetery. Kind of looking around because it's a new city for me to take in.
Alrighty. Let's wrap up now for today. This is a good enough point to stop. I can close some of my windows now. I have so many windows open when I'm doing this.
Yeah, it's a little breezy in here.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's enough fresh air for one day. Let's close that back up.
Anyone want to guess
Alrighty.
why I don't have friends? It's because of jokes like that.
Oh yeah.
Let's do our 3 favorites.
Yeah, I'll go first.
Yeah.
So something that it's something you did, something someone else did, and something DM did. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So something that I did that I liked this session was I kind of incorporated Zephylos a little more into the tribal stuff that Khan would do, like getting the soup and what have you, kind of calling him brother more, what have you. Pointing at him when I'm referring to the tribe instead of just Daishu. Something that someone else did that I liked this session was I like Dermo trying to sneak the sheep in and stuff, and trying to figure out a way to rationalize having a sheep inside of his inn room, which I can totally see him doing. And I like just the party interaction overall with Clark, Zephylos just explaining all the things, and then the Kramer running in and out. That was kind of a fun dynamic for the whole party, I thought. Something that the DM did that I thought was fun was nothing. It was a terrible session. I think I think it's funny, and this may be more meta thingy, but we get derailed a lot, which is totally fine. It's a game. We're supposed to have fun as long as we're talking and having fun. But he'll be like, "Hey, we get derailed a lot. Let's get back," and then he'll be the one derailing us. I thought that was the best thing the DM did tonight was contributing to. Yeah, I guess I never thought about that. Just going off on a tangent for 5 minutes that we all just kind of break down. Yeah, I guess it would have a delivery service, or hey, I guess that would make sense. Stuff like that. I love that kind of stuff.
We are all the DM in a way.
The DM kind of applying the reality of how a world would work with what's written down in a book, DM wise. I thought that was fun.
I guess you're right. There would be a cart service. For 5 minutes, we did figure out the lore of the world.
Yeah, we're just piecing apart Gillinor.
I'll go next. Something that I like that I did. I liked describing the church, and not just the jokes that we made, and the interaction with Father Eric and the boy that ran in. That was fun. That was a good bit of dialogue. And also providing you guys with a little side objective with a decent incentive, in the form of saving a bit of money, but also the greater good, of course.
It would have been really funny to see Father Eric get his ass out there to the cemetery and do it himself because he doesn't want to pay
Whoop
us.
that ghost's ass.
Want to pay us? Yeah, okay, good. Because I was going to say you should fix your own problems, Father.
Something that one of you guys did. I liked how heated Khan got at the clerks for little reason other than because he's leaning into the barbarian role here, and it is definitely seeping into his dialogue very much. He's so angry.
He'll mellow out.
And then something that you guys did together, I liked the dialogue that you guys had with one another about some of the lore and religion stuff, as well as the interactions at the church.
If we talk about regular religion, bad. Talk about religion in a video game, good.
Mm-hmm.
Talking about religion, Drake, no. Talking about religion in a fantasy game, Drake, yes.
Yep.
I
mentally forgot everything we've done in the past 30 minutes. So that's good.
That's what's up.
Augers.
I'm trying to think of everything so I can come up with something.
We did get derailed a couple times, which probably is contributing to us, but
Couple.
we had a great time. I had a great time, at least.
Yeah.
It was fun. It was a fun session.
I think getting derailed is part of the game. If you don't get derailed, you're not really playing.
Yeah. I love it when my DM derails me hard during the session.
Derail me, father.
What?
All right.
Okay.
With that note, I'm going to go next. Yeah. Things
Alright.
I did. I like talking about Zeros and not name dropping Zeros, but I like giving the lore, you know. And I tried doing it in a way that Zephylos would comprehend. Things I liked from another player. I liked Khan demanding like more payment because the task was not as it was seeming from the get-go. And I was like, you never mentioned a vampire. That's like CR3. We should get paid more. You know, very good stuff.
I mean, we get paid for a job, we do extra job, we get extra pay, right?
That seems fair.
Sure, yeah. I wish.
I mean, this whole time there's a madman at the roof turning people into chickens. I mean, I went off on Clark, you know? I wasn't standing for it.
And what I like from the GM is I like you've been doing a really good job of, I don't know, there's a certain level of realism that has been maintained for me. Like the one thing that really stuck out this session is that the payment is not in Draynor. Because that's 100% a thing that would have happened. It's like, oh, you expect there to be like $1,000 in this small ass village? No, go to the city a few days down because no one, like, we're going to get robbed before we have a chance to pay someone.
You want me to shatter your hopes and dreams?
Yes.
I originally made that decision for story purposes.
Well, because you want us
and
to
not for
Varrock.
realism purposes.
Yeah, no, I understand, but it works out anyways.
Yes, I
compliment,
literally
man.
thought of that like at the beginning of the session today. I was like, oh, I should probably tell them that the gold is over there because it's safer. That would make sense. And then I did.
Yeah, no,
Or I didn't
makes
specifically
complete sense.
mention it, but you guys kind of inferred in that point. I didn't have to.
Huh. Story is for story reasons.
But yeah, it took me a while to like nail down how I wanted you guys to start in Draynor but end up in Varrock. And this
We
seems to
step
work
into a teleport
fine.
circle on accident.
Yeah, I was like crafting all these theories. I was like, oh, maybe Earnest has like a friend over there or something, and he needs a favor. And I was like, wait a minute, why don't I just pay them in Varrock? Then they have to go.
So why are we doing shit for Earnest anyways? This man, we did enough for him by turning him from
Yeah,
a
you
chicken.
guys almost like abandoned
I mean,
the prospect of saving him. That
I
would have
mean-
screwed that all up.
no man should live the end of his life as a chicken.
I like how you
Yes.
say the end of his life as if he's like 90. It's like he's like 20, and you're
Well, I
like,
imagine he'd
oh,
get the
you're
life
old,
of a
man.
chicken, which is not very long, especially in Gillinor.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
I think the average
Thing-
life of a chicken is like less than a game tick,
Danny, did you finish?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
especially in
Yeah.
Lumbridge.
Things that the DM did is I actually weirdly liked the innkeeper not just letting me bring a sheep in, like that
I mean,
aspect
yeah.
of. Well, yeah, I mean, you know, a lot of people I'm sure would have just not cared, you know, like been like, yeah, sure, bring the sheep in, but no, it's totally like no one can just bring their sheep into a establishment and just be like, oh, this is my
Mhm.
pet. Which I appreciate the level of like, no, come on, no. And then past that, favorite thing that someone else did is, yeah, I think I agree though. Like the little rage and like the tit for tat kind of like, and another thing. It's just always funny to me.
Barging back in like Kramer. Oh yeah, and another thing. He's turning people into chickens.
Yeah. I know. I always love that in
so
general, just in real life and in games and stuff. Just like, just someone who's so
Something
angry.
angry, just petty, angry. Yeah, angry. So
They walk away because they know that they want to like hype themselves up again.
And your door is way too squeaky, and like slams it on the way. Like
Mad
so
about
petty.
everything.
Looking for like my dad in grade school, just looking for a reason to be angry. You know.
I have to have a reason to be angry, else I'm the one who's wrong, and I can't have that.
The person who's wrong is the person who's least angry. Is how Khan saw it.
I do love though that none of us tried to calm you down. Just like kind of
You guys were just talking in between outbursts. Oh yeah, that happened too, by the way. Like it's real casual. Oh yeah, he was turning people into chickens. We should mention that.
Yeah. Just kind of like, it's like when your mom is yelling at you and your buddy's over and he's just like, oh, okay, this is happening.
Just seeing a Karen anywhere, that's what it was like. Just the party with Khan go Karen on Clark.
Wow, that's a lot of
alliteration.
Yeah. And favorite thing I did, I'm keeping Bob alive. I think every session, if he doesn't die, then that's going to be my favorite thing I do. Is that, you know, he is my baby, and he got to walk on his own. He took his first steps, which is, you know, it's a big moment as a father.
First steps.
I didn't ask. It's a
Did we
big
get
moment for a
everybody?
father to watch your child's first steps.
Did Zach go yet?
Not yet, no. So my favorite thing the GM did was putting up with all the table talk and then kind of gently guiding us back to the game. Not like, you know, not there will be no table talk today. It's just kind of let it go out for a couple minutes, then rein everybody back in.
Mm-hmm.
For something that somebody else did, I love the mental image of just a dead body under most quills just walking back into town. Like that. I know that's not exactly how it played out, but like even just wrapped up, which even when a body's wrapped up with a towel, you can tell it's body shaped. I didn't do a whole lot this session. I had something and I forgot what it was.
You did write the quiet character.
Yes, I did. But like even this session in particular was incredible.
You nodded a couple times.
Yeah. Actually, favorite thing that I did was starting to introduce kind of my third level features when it shows up. Tinkering with my armor, because I am Iron Man now. My armor goes from just a chest piece to covering me literally head to foot. And like I can retract the helmet as an action, just magically. The armor cannot be taken off me. I am just Iron Man, and so I'm kind of trying to build up to that a little bit.
And we have a custom. We made some custom rules for it, so that it would better suit what he wanted to do with it.
Yeah, better
So,
fit the character. Yeah, not any drastic changes. Is
No.
still based on the armor armor subclass or but yeah, those are my three.
Cool. Alrighty. I'm gonna stop the stream now. So thanks.
Thank you for the game.
Everybody, for coming to the game and for watching. Thanks for resubbing, Jure. You the best. Catch you guys later.